Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wanderer's Haven. We have a very special episode of fun for you tonight, or today. It's not nighttime. Wait a second. What am
night
I
somewhere,
doing here? I don't normally do this sort of thing during the daylight hours. It feels strange. It feels weird. But at least for one of us, it's nighttime. It's nighttime where you're at, right? Shiv, sort of, almost nighttime.
Yeah. I'm in the future.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
cool.
that works.
Nice.
That works. Welcome everyone to Wanderer's Haven. I am Miko. I am your humble host and game master for tonight's loveliness. Today's loveliness. I'm going to do that a lot, I'm sure. We are doing a very special episode here. It's a special one-shot called Origins Campus Secrets. It is a hopefully heroic adventure using the Cypher system and specifically their Claim the Sky world setting. It's going to be new and interesting for all of us because, well, I've never played this system before and I'm running it. Oh, and guess what? Also, none of my lovely players have ever played this system before either. So we're gonna figure it out as we go along. I read at least 10% of the book, so that probably gets me through enough to do it. Yeah, we'll see. Quick shout out before we introduce the rest of my lovely individuals on screen with me today. Shout out to Tabletop Audio as well as Epidemic Sound. Both of those entities are providing us with a good chunk of the music that we are listening to tonight. Between the two of them, all of the music, in fact. And then also shout out to Jeremy, the awesome purveyor of this channel. He created it and he graciously has allowed me to occasionally put my face on the screen and I get to tell fun stories with lovely, awesome people, and I thank him for that. And in continuing these shout outs and loveliness, let us introduce ourselves with a taste, perhaps a little bit about the characters that will be played tonight. And we are going to start with the one individual on the screen that I have never gotten a chance to play with before, but I'm so happy that I finally get to. Shiv, please tell us a little bit about yourself and Paxton, if you might.
Hello, I'm Shiv, and yeah, I will be playing Paxton Langley III, who is a bit from old money. He's an athlete, and yeah, he hopefully gets on with the rest of this crew. I'm not sure how many of them are kind of his type of crew to hang out with, but we'll see.
Well, I think we've already established that at least one of them you have a previous relationship with, although that relationship may not have been a positive one. We shall see where that led.
We shall see where this thread leads. Yes.
Indeed. And continuing the thread, Kev, you're showing up again. You keep showing up to these things that I'm doing, and I don't know why.
I'm everywhere, man. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's how it works in this community, you know? No, I'm happy to be here. I am Kevin, as Miko just said. I'm one of the co-producers on the team here on Wanderer's Haven. Always glad to sit down and play yet again. Today, I'm playing a character named Spencer Randall, and Spencer is a first-year student at the college who is, I'll be honest, he's kind of a little chunky kid, but he is undeclared right now, and he's just trying to figure out what he wants to do. He'd rather be anywhere except whatever we're doing today. He'd rather be reading, I guess you could say.
Nice. And speaking of Canadians, Christian, please introduce yourself as well as your character, if you might.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much for inviting me here. I play a lot of games online, and it's always fun to be once in a while be able to do one where it's just like some old buddies hanging out and having fun. And so this is going to be great for that. I am certainly the least illustrious Canadian in this stream today, but I will do my best to represent our people. I am Bleakseason, and I am playing Taylor Enoch, who is actually a little older than everybody else. He is one of the janitors at the school. He had to drop out of school to help his mother and whatnot and found a job there. So he's a little bit older than the other kids. And, sometimes, kids can be cruel and maybe sometimes make fun of him, but he didn't care too much. He's a bit of a nerd. And, he just just likes taking care of his mom. So very Canadian of him.
All right. Lovely. And the other Canadian of the party, the stabber of my heart, Kay, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Reed, if you might.
Yeah, sure. So Reed Werther is in I think the second year of his fine art program at college. He is a bit of a nerd. Most of the folks that he knows and chats with are big nerds. They're more on the STEM programs and things. He's a bit geeky himself, but he's just trying to find his way. You wouldn't say that he's very talented at his fine arts degree, but getting through it, seeing what sticks.
Nice. So we got the nerd, we got the jock, we got the kind of aimless one, and we got the only one with a car maybe in the group.
And
I feel like I've seen this movie.
And the tape deck in the car. Yeah, the tape deck in the car.
I feel like I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Now with Kung Fu grip. So.
Nice.
That's another problem.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. No, this is going to be fun. Awesome.
Does Jeremy know that we're here today doing this on the channel?
I hope so, because
I'd be very confused if he didn't.
Indeed. All right.
Cut you at home, Jeremy going, what?
Yeah, he's like, why am I getting alerts? What? Oh dear God.
No, I'm pretty sure he's okay with all of this, but
yes.
You never know. I'll hear about it later if he's not. Anyway. I say we jump right into this lovely little adventure here. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Friends, I would like for you to please imagine a world that started much like ours, but perhaps took a turn towards the extraordinary. A history that is intertwined with mystery, might, and marvel. I would like to welcome you all to a reality both familiar and fantastic. Welcome to Boundless. Picture this, if you will. Since the beginning of time, we've lived in a world that is full of mysteries and magic. We've known about superhumans, rare, but as real as you and I. Their actions, as wild and unpredictable as a bolt of lightning. Now, where did these superhuman abilities come from? Let us go back to the ancient Azaki. They're a lost civilization, but their legacy lives on in our genes, our technology, our everyday lives. Because of them, some of us can do things that are just, beyond extraordinary. It's not just about superpowers, though. We've gotten attention from all over the cosmos. Alien races like the Grin, wicked creatures like the demonics, they're all eyeing our Earth. But hey, don't worry, we've got Bastion on our side, standing strong against such otherworldly things. And what's more, our world is full of technological marvels thanks to the Azaki. Have you ever seen a hovercraft in the sky, or people with personal augmentations that allow them to do crazy things? Well, that's Boundless for you. But not everything is smooth sailing necessarily. This Azaki legacy isn't shared by all and has led to a decent amount of tech inequality, one might say. And then, of course, there are the mutants. People whose genes connect back to Azaki experiments from so many eons ago. These individuals, they live among us, hiding their powers, walking the line between fame and secrecy. It is in this wild, boundless dance that we have forces of good and evil pulling back and forth. Organizations like Bastion and the Dagger have been at it since the 50s, fighting in the shadows, sometimes even going into space. So, what is Boundless? It's a world of heroes and villains, excitement and danger, a world where the impossible becomes the everyday. Some people can fly, some can teleport, some can shoot lightning, all the good comic book stuff, but real. Just think about it. If the Azaki hadn't touched our world, we'd be stuck in a boring, ordinary existence. But we're not. We are part of something vast, something thrilling, something beyond the bounds. And yet, in this land of limitless potential, our adventure begins not in the midst of cosmic battles or supernatural showdowns, but within the hallowed halls of a university. Here, diverse arrays of students gather, fueled by curiosity and ambition, in classrooms filled with lively debates and laboratories buzzing with innovation. Our new chapter begins. Welcome, adventurers. Welcome to UIC. When you step into the bustling campus, you're not just joining a school, you're diving into a world rich in innovative research and academic adventure. Whether you're a star athlete, a budding artist, a curious freshman, or even a janitor keeping everything looking at its best, being at a top-notch research facility in universities such as this adds excitement and depth to your daily life. Life here is a thrilling mix of study, socials, fun, hands-on research, and personal growth. Classes aren't just lectures. They're engaging conversations with professors who are leading experts in their fields, and research isn't stuck just in a lab. Oh no, it's part of the learning experience, letting you work side by side with scholars to discover new things and solve real-world problems. What's great about things at UIC? Well, you're not just stuck in one area here. You've got everything to study: medicine, technology, social sciences, arts, law, you name it. We have labs, resources to explore this creative space. It helps you grow, find internships, and get involved in projects that can shape your life and your career. But UIC isn't just about books and labs. It's a vibrant community waiting for you with clubs, sports, art, so much more. And don't forget, Chicago's lively culture is right outside the campus gates, linking you to the heartbeat of the very city. And speaking of community, fraternities and sororities here add just that special touch. They're more than just parties and social events. They help you build leadership, community spirit, and lasting friendships. They're a part of UIC, but they don't take over. They just add that little extra flavor to campus life. At UIC, getting a degree isn't the only goal. It's about a journey that wraps up creativity, friendship, discovery, brings it all together in a university that isn't just a label. It's a chance to ask questions, to try out new ideas that go beyond the classroom. Here in the heart of Chicago, UIC is more than a school. It's a place where dreams grow, where you can be yourself, and where everyone has a part in a story of innovation and connection. Here you're not just a student. You're a vital spark in a community that's dynamic, supportive, and always looking to the future. Little do all of you know, however, that your ordinary life at university is about to become extraordinary, and your lives are about to become something boundless. So welcome, everyone. I would like for you all to please tell us a little bit about what your characters are doing on this fine and glorious day that you find yourselves. We will go ahead and start in the same order that we introduced ourselves in earlier. Shiv, can you please tell us about Paxton Langley III and what he might be doing on this very fine school day?
Well, I think he is thinking about the upcoming semester. He is enrolled in the law part of the university because his family is part of the law firm Langley, Baxter and Scott, so he has to follow the family tradition. So he's thinking about that. He's part of the Alpha Epsilon Pi fraternity house as well. So there's all that going on, and he's on his way across the campus with his Flames, UIC Flames jacket on as he heads towards the main building.
Nice. And so as Paxton is going through, we notice a little bit of a hobble in his step. He's wearing long pants to cover up the cast on his ankle and foot. But anyone that is anyone in and around the campus recognizes Paxton, and he can still hear, perhaps in idle conversation as he walks by, a few people marveling about the recent injury that he suffered at the latest meet, weighing heavily upon him, perhaps a little bit too heavily, not knowing what exactly his athletic future portends now. He still gets plenty of, high fives and the like. He's still a popular fellow, of course, at least with some people. Kevin, how's Spencer doing today?
Yes, as Paxton's walking along, there's a small fountain in the center of the campus, and on the other side of it is Spencer. He has his nose buried in a book while he's walking. He's actually wearing a long brown trench coat. He is wearing it to emulate a certain, we'll say, investigative wizard in a book series that he really likes to read, and he doesn't think he's being ironic at all. He actually thinks this is an appropriate attire for someone who is his age at the school here. He's a bigger kid, and so while he's got his nose in the book, he is semi-oblivious, except then he sees Paxton out of the corner of his eye, and he stops. He looks up, and he just gets a dark look on his face, shakes his head, and then he turns to go the other direction, quickly to make his way towards the library. He doesn't want to be late for this research thing. There was a flyer somebody handed out yesterday, and he's not exactly sure what it's all about, but hey, he's got nothing else to do. It beats hanging out with his weird roommate. This guy doesn't even like role-playing games. It's weird. So so he's on his way in there to see what's going on, and giving Paxton a wide berth. There's some dark memories that maybe come to the surface of their time when they used to go to high school together that he doesn't want to relive. So,
All right. So your experience perhaps here at the campus, you're a freshman, if I recall.
yeah, I'm a freshman. I'm undeclared. Yeah. I haven't really figured it out yet. I really feel like a lot of this coursework is really just kind of beneath. I mean, I could be continuing to study Klingon and the works of the gray wardens, in my books. So we'll figure it out.
You have a little bit of a different experience of campus life than perhaps Paxton does, but still, nonetheless, University of Illinois Chicago is an exceptional place, and a lot of people do their best to make you feel welcome in the wherever you go, and certainly you get more than a handful of conversations trying to steer you in one direction or another in regards to what your future might be. People, of course, telling you, oh, you've got to pick your major now, which of course you don't, but there's always that kind of drive that happens here. Christian, Taylor has a wholly different experience perhaps than everybody else here at the campus of UIC. What's his day like today?
Well, the thing is, he wasn't even supposed to be in here today. It was his day off, but unfortunately one of the other janitors called in sick. And so the last minute, he kind of had to scramble. He had a very, very busy day planned of doing nothing. And he had to sort of scramble and come running in. So he came in, did his early morning routine. But he's finally on a break. He's hanging outside by his car. He's got some Scorpions playing probably in the tape deck while he finishes a cigarette and a coffee. He's hanging out with his good friend Beth, who's a dropout here at the university also, and the two of them just sort of hang out. And when it's his break, Beth brings him some coffee, and they just talk about nerd stuff and whatnot. And the break is finishing, so he finishes the coffee, drops a cigarette, turns off the car, remembers fondly when the Scorpions were playing 30 seconds ago, and thanking Beth for the coffee, he'll head inside. He's got his little his little yellow Sony Walkman with him. So as soon as he steps inside, he puts his headphones back on and he presses play, and the sweet, sweet sounds of Accept start filtering in through his ears. And he's on a German kick today. What are you gonna do? And he heads in, gets his rotation sheet to see where he's at in his cleaning, his duty roster thing, checking where he's at cleaning. And he's going to be heading and doing that. It's just another day of work, you know?
Just another day.
Just another day of work.
So yeah, you get your duty roster. You find out all of the lovely tasks that you have to do today. Thankfully, most of them don't involve cleaning the gutters, which is always just a horrible proposition in this place. There's a lot of ladders involved, and it's just bad. And you have a nice quiet one, and you're gonna end up having to go and tidy up in the libraries, which is generally considered to be one of the better gigs when it comes to the daily activity for the custodial staff here on the campus. And in this particular instance, after you collect some of your things and start heading out making your way to the library, you do in fact bump into your young friend Spencer, who seems to be, he knows where the library is, and he's trying not to get turned around, and he's mostly on the way there, but you catch him on the way there. Thinking maybe he's looking a little lost and might need a little direction.
Oh, hey, Spence, man. What's up, bro?
Hi. Yeah, I'm just on my way to the library. Are you going there too?
Yeah, I gotta go. Go do a once over. You know, gotta vacuum that carpet. I wish they'd take the carpet out of there, man. That carpet's been there since before Reagan, man. Like, that thing is old and moldy.
Yeah.
They really need to do something about that, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Oh, here. And Spencer's going to take his backpack and slide it around as best he can onto the side. He stumbles a little bit because it gets caught in his trench coat and maybe even on his chub a little bit. And he actually unzips it and he pulls out 2 or 3 comic books. These were a great read, man. Just like you said, I really appreciate you letting me use them.
Yeah, man. Awesome. I'm glad you dug it, man. Look, anytime you want to borrow, I got like number 7 through 15 of these, so just come on down whenever you want and pick them up, man. I've read them like 5 or 6 times already, man. I appreciate you putting them back in the plastics. It's very nice of you. Some people, you lend it to them and it comes back all sorts of, it's like they had breakfast on it or something. They went to have a picnic and they used it as a blanket or something like that. There's crumbs in there, there's corners are full, but I appreciate that you respect it, man. Like, that's great. He's gonna put up his fist for a fist bump.
Spencer looks very confused. He doesn't know what he's doing with his fist. He just kind of, okay.
He's got
the
bump
backpack back and
What are you doing in here today, man?
well, there's some sort of study. There was the guy was handing out some stuff yesterday, some flyers, and I figured it'd get me out of my roommate. I told you he's really weird. He's I don't know. He's real gung ho. This is what, the 3rd or 4th week of school, and he's done 4 keg stands. He's had some parties almost every weekend. I'm not used to this kind of thing.
Oh man, you bunking with Animal from the fucking Revenge of the Nerds, eh?
I don't know that reference, but maybe. Is that what he does?
Oh man, never seen Revenge of the Nerds?
No.
Oh man, it's classic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should come over sometime. Look, I got the VHS at home. I'll bring the VHS player, and there's an old TV in the concierge cubicle, and we'll watch it, man. Like maybe like Wednesday, at lunchtime or something. Come on by, and you're gonna love it, man. It's fantastic, man. You're gonna love it. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe okay. Maybe we'll see.
I'm telling you, man. Look, no pressure, man. It's all good.
Cool.
What's this research thing about, anyways?
Well, I don't know. And here's the flyer, and I hand it to him, and it's like a typical. It's got like a bunch of different graphics and stuff on it. It just doesn't actually. If he looks at it, doesn't actually say anything specific. It's just a weird random amalgamation of different graphics, and it might even look like junk to you. Like it's just kind of somebody just trying to maybe even mess with a freshman. Yeah,
Sounds
sure.
like the beginning of some sci-fi adventure or something, man. Here, man.
Would you guys let me do a GM intrusion here?
Oh yeah, please, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kev, I'm going to then give you a point of XP for allowing the intrusion, and you can give you an additional point of XP that you can give to one of your fellow players. It doesn't have to be Christian, but he's the one involved in the scene, so it makes the most sense.
Yeah, that
for
makes
it
sense.
to be
We'll go and give it to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And so I'm going to draw this intrusion. Nice. So as Taylor hands Spencer, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Hands Spencer back his the flyer. Spencer starts to panic for a moment in that he realizes he's not wearing his student ID lanyard around his neck, which that's like got his pass on it. That's how he like gets into buildings and stuff like that, and his lanyard seems to be gone right now.
Oh man, Odin's beard, shit. And he starts patting. He's just double checking his trench coat. He's going through multiple pockets.
You got there, buddy? Did you forget your lunch?
No, I got that. Trust me. I forgot. I can't find my lanyard.
Your lanyard.
Yeah, it's got my student pass on it, so I can get into the library. They got everything locked down.
Oh, that's not a
locked
problem.
down,
I'll
but
let you into the library, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No issues, man. Come on. Look, you probably just left it in your other pants or something.
So go ahead and Christian, go ahead and make me a we'll call this an intellect search roll. And your difficulty is going to be it's a 2. It's a standard difficulty.
Right. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Yeah, so it's an intellect roll. The difficulty is 2, which means that you're going to roll a d20, and your target number is 6. And if you want to spend things or use your resources that you have to kind of reduce the difficulty of it, then
I'll take it. I'll take it as a 6. That's cool.
All right. So just toss a d20, sir. Oh, natural 1.
Yikes.
Okay.
And thus ended the adventures.
So a natural 1 means that I get an additional free intrusion
Oh no.
to bring into this that you don't get any awarded XP for.
Sorry, little buddy.
So in this particular case, I am going to say that Christian, you see one of the custodial supervisors headed your way, and he does not look pleased. You can see him at a decent enough distance that you have an opportunity to try to do something if you wish, but if this guy's facial expressions are to be read correctly, you're in trouble for something, and you have no idea what.
Red alert, good buddy, man. Earl's coming this way. Oh man, he looks pissed.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
tell
man,
me
something's
about
wrong. He's got some bee up his bonnet, like, let's head down here, man. Come on,
Yeah.
can deal with it right now.
Yeah.
So you wish
We'll
to
go
try
around the
to
other way to the library.
you wish
Yeah.
to try to escape
Yeah,
from
I'm just gonna
from the scene.
push Spencer.
All right. I need sneak checks from the both of you, please.
Oh boy.
So a sneak check is a speed check. Your difficulty in this case is a 3, so your target number is 9. If you have any benefit to that sort of thing, to sneaking in any way, that can reduce your target number, or you can choose to spend 3 points from your pool to do effort to improve your chances as well.
I have dexterity in my power shifts. Would that? I have 1 dexterity.
movement. That affects movement, acrobatics, initiative, and your defense. It doesn't improve your ability to kind of subterfuge your way out of the situation, unfortunately.
All right. What was the
Target number is
sorry?
9. Now,
Well,
you do have a point of edge, so if you wanted to do a effort to reduce it down to a 6, you could do just 2 points of speed to spend if you wanted to do
I'll
that.
do that. I'll do 2 points of speed and
Okay.
And it looks like on my sheet here for my skills, my sneaking looks like I am specialist and looks like I'm trained on that.
You're trained in that, so that automatically reduces the difficulty down from a 9 to a 6.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I'll just roll as is then. I don't have anything else that's going to help, so.
That's a 7,
Darsh.
so that's a succeed for Taylor.
Nice.
10 for me.
And a 10 for Spencer. Yeah. So, the campus is a crowded place. There's lots of people out and about. You, in fact, decide you're going to take advantage of a small gaggle of people as you see Paxton Langley III, the track star, standing in like the walkway, and he's got like 5 or 6 people around him that they're all talking livaciously with one another, with him being the center of attention, and you kind of use that as a distraction for you to avoid the potential pending confrontation with Earl.
yeah, sorry, man. Earl only has that face on, and one of the toilets clogged on the 3rd, and I want no part of that, man.
Yeah, man. It's gross.
It was supposed to be my day off. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Look at
So-
that guy.
Which,
What a
this
jerk.
guy?
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
jerk.
I went to high school with that guy. He's a real piece of work. His whole
Oh, yeah?
family. Yeah. His
Oh,
whole
I know his
family's-
family. I went to school with his brother.
Did you really?
Ugh. They're all the same.
Yeah, it's like they enjoy putting people down, man. I just
I think he's the one who's clogging all the toilets with all that gold that he's pooping out. You know what I'm saying?
he probably is, man. I bet he thinks it doesn't stink either.
Yeah. He probably hovers over the seat when he sits down because he doesn't want his precious little fanny to touch the
Right.
seat. You know?
Yeah, I bet he
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
He's good looking though. He's a good looking guy.
I guess
Good,
if you're into that sort of thing, I prefer my men to be handsome and charming, like Kirk,
Yeah, I get you right there, man. I know.
Yeah.
I totally get you. But you're looking good. You've been losing weight, man. Like you've been training. Like you look like you got like, man, like you're bulky, like
I don't think I've been training. I mean,
you're getting ripped.
I don't know.
Get
My
shredded.
dad. Okay, my dad says that freshmen put on 15, but he says I'll probably put on freshman 50. I don't know. It's kind of. My dad's kind of a hard case too. He doesn't understand my reading and stuff. He said because I'm a big guy, I should have gone out for football. I would have been But I'm not playing football with this clown. And I point towards Paxton.
Think about it this way. You think your dad doesn't understand you reading? How confused would his dad be if he caught him reading?
Right? Yeah.
So Paxton, as you are
Yes.
standing there amongst this gaggle of fans, and now that we've firmly established that Paxton is apparently the evil, the big bad evil guy of this game, what would you like to do, sir?
Do I see these guys walking up?
No, I don't think so. I think that they would be, but I feel like in this, because of what we've already set up, I feel like they would be beneath Paxton's notice.
Perfect. Yeah, I think he's just going to be holding court with his little gaggle of cronies, his little hangers on, and it'll just be like, right, I've got to head off. I got to go to this research thing. I mean, education, money just doesn't buy it anymore. So it's ridiculous. I've actually got to go and do something. So I'll see you guys in a bit. And I'm just like giving them fist bumps, high fives, the Blaine, Bodie, Barrett, Scooter, or not just like all the guys, just all their names. And all like that. Cool. Right, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Lean over
Don't
to
look, don't look,
Spencer.
don't look.
Lean over to Spencer. Ground zero for STI infection right there, man.
Oh, whoa, man. That's pretty gross.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Nice.
gonna head towards the library.
So yeah, as you head towards the library, Taylor and Spencer, you all see Paxton heading that way too. I'm imagining that kind of gets them to wait, like lag back a minute, and whatnot. And as you do so, Spencer, you realize as you're like stuffing your backpack or the flyer back into your backpack and like shimmying it around, your badge is actually sitting in your trench coat pocket.
Oh, wow. Hey, check it out. Look. Oh, man, that was could have been really
bonus,
bad.
man. You found it.
Yeah, I guess I put it in there.
That's
thought
right,
for
man.
sure I
Dave's
put it in
looking
there.
up.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really say this to a lot of people, but you're pretty cool. I really haven't had a friend cool like you, or really, ever before. So I just, thanks.
Oh, far out, little buddy. You're pretty cool too, man. Don't worry, man. I don't think I've ever been called cool a day in my life. But
No, yeah.
just I grab his hand. Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. It's like a warrior salute or something. It's
Yeah, man. You can think of it that way for sure, man.
yeah. That's like the one. That's like the Aes Sedai from the Wheel of Time series. They have a weird way that they have different sort of. Well, I don't know. You don't care.
No, man, I care, but aren't they all like women wizards and not like?
Whoa!
You know?
You've read that? You've read the great works of Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, what am I? Paxton Langley?
Right? Yeah. He probably gave him spell Wheel of Time.
He probably thinks it's a dirty game you play with a ball.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. No, you're cool too, man.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm glad
let's,
you found a thing.
Oh, look at the time, man. That meeting is supposed to happen in like 3 minutes. So I got my badge now. So if you don't want to hang out.
Oh, it's cool. I got to go in there and there's some work I got to do in there. So maybe after we can hang out, like you do your thing, you talk with all the whatever techno wizards are hanging out in the library today. And then maybe after we can.
This isn't Babylon 5. Come on, man.
Hey, man. Fab 5 was.
Dude, you know Babylon 5 too? Nobody knows the works of J. Michael Straczynski like that.
I mean, it's no DS9, but it was all right.
Hey, that's not cool, man. I don't.
Come on, man. Odo, that was the coolest character in all those.
Odo was a fascist, okay? He's too much about order and how things are supposed to be on that station. But anyway, I gotta go.
Man. You need that. You need order. Without order, man, it's just chaos, man.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, I'm really sorry. I'll let you go. And like I said,
yeah, no problem. We'll hang out after. We'll go get a grilled cheese or something at the diner.
Yeah.
You like grilled cheese?
I love grilled cheese, man. You put some ham on there. It's really good.
Yeah. We'll go. All right.
Cool.
Sounds good. Thanks for bringing these back. Yeah, man. Thanks for bringing these back. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right.
So come on and get the other ones. And Revenge of the Nerds.
Right. Yeah. I'll read, and then kind of to himself as he turns to go inside of the library. I'll read the novelization, I think, and he'll go inside. He looks around to see what's going on.
As all of you make your way at your various points into the library, you walk in and it's like stepping into a whole other world. Like, this place is enormous. It is filled with the quiet sounds of pages turning, hushed conversations. There's that familiar smell of like old books that hits you as soon as you walk in, and like you just see probably I don't know, a couple hundred people easily occupying this space between the mezzanine and the various stacks of books. There's tables set up everywhere for people to gather together to study and work on their projects. There's an entire room just off to the side that is filled with computers for people to use in their research. There's also the occasional computer set up at various places throughout the library. Those are generally meant for somebody to just sit down and like look where the book is that they're looking for and then get up and go and that sort of thing. But you know, a few people always sit there and like check their email or whatever it is that that you know that is going on when they shouldn't be doing those things. And as you're kind of looking around this space, you can see towards the center of the library, basically right in the very center, which is where the largest array of tables are for the use of the students and the faculty. You see that there's easily like 8 or 9 tables that are where there's just a gaggle of like students and a few other non-students kind of gathered. And as you kind of move towards that space, primarily Paxton and Spencer and Reed also. Hope Kay comes back soon. Miss you. As you like all move through into that space, you know that that's where you're supposed to go. And you catch the attention of like a teacher's assistant who like checks to make sure that you're there for the study and whatnot, and kind of directs you. Christian, at one point you actually have a teacher's assistant. You guess that they're probably new because they don't recognize that you have like a facilities badge instead of a student badge, and they seem to be more focused on like the tablet, the iPad that's in their hand, and they're just like, "Are you here for the study too?" Yeah, okay, sure, go that way. And without even getting a response from you, they just kind of shove you in with a bunch of the students.
Hey little dudes.
And so you end up kind of getting caught up in this array of basically like almost 50 students. And quickly you guys end up getting sorted into various groups and whatnot, and funneled over to different tables in the space until eventually, and there's a bit of chaos going on. Like there isn't the professor isn't there to kind of like keep things orderly, and you know, we're talking about a bunch of college students here, right? It's sometimes difficult to corral a herd of cats, and in this case it's made even more difficult by the fact that everybody's trying to be quiet and talk in hushed voices, and that causes a lot of confusion and repeating of questions and answers and all of that sort of thing. And so you end up kind of getting shuffled around from table to table until eventually the lot of you are sat down at a single table, and it is in fact Taylor and Reed and Spencer and Paxton. You guys all find yourselves basically standing at this small rectangular, like, you know, yeah, I guess it would be rectangular, but like this 6 foot by 4 foot table, just all standing there with your hands on chairs like you were about to sit down, kind of just staring at each other.
Paxton.
Scott?
It's Spencer Randall. You know that very well.
My apologies, Spencer? Yeah, Spencer. Cool.
Yeah.
Do I know you? Have we met?
No, I guess not. Never mind. And I'll sit down and pull the book up.
Ooh. I look at Taylor and be like, what's his problem?
No, man. Maybe he's just, you know, it's just not digging what you're selling.
I knew that Janet guy.
What gave that away? My janitor outfit?
Well, I mean, you don't look like a student, so you had to be the help. So I don't know. It's either that or the lunch lady.
Well, you know what they say. The apple sure doesn't fall far from the tree.
Do we
Look.
know each? What?
Look, this is a fresh start for everybody. Okay, this is freshman year, and I think maybe it's just, it's a good place for everybody to start anew, start fresh, bury the hatchet, as they say.
How's your brother doing, Paxton?
Oh yeah, he's cool. Yeah, I mean he's working in the law firm. Do you know Everett?
A little bit.
Cool.
I
Okay. Well.
was in school with your brother.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Obviously didn't mention your name.
He's a
so
lawyer, eh?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably one of the best ones in Chicago.
Yeah. You know what they say. What do you call 100 lawyers at the bottom of the sea?
Go on.
Never mind, Paxton. Never mind. It's all right.
I'm getting a very hostile environment from both of you guys. I don't know either of you, so I'm not really sure what the hell.
What do they call 100 lawyers at the bottom of the sea? I haven't heard.
Forget it, it's just a stupid joke. Look, Paxton, I'm sorry, man. I had some bad experiences with your brother back in the day, and
Oh, well.
I shouldn't be taking it out on you. You're right. We don't even know each other. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
It's cool. He was a dick. It's fine. We kind of get along. I mean, families are what families can be, right?
Yeah, you know my buddy Spencer here?
I kind of recognize your face, but I can't remember where from. Did we go to high school together?
Yeah, man. 4 years, and then about 5 years of school before that. And yeah, we've had some classes together, and
well, you guys are like childhood friends.
Sure.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so.
It's all right. Like I said, I'm here to see what this meeting thing is all about. Did you get a flyer too? Are they just giving those out to everybody, or?
Yeah, no, I go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see.
I mean,
all right.
This library's not bad. It's a bit small. My grandfather's got a much bigger one up
there
in
we go.
Blanco. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But
there's the Langley.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
Hey, I'm not trying to show off. Okay, it's just this is.
It's just what rolls off the tongue. I get it, dude. It's all right.
Hey.
I mean, I'm sure it's not the Library of Everest, but it is what it is.
Is that like a Wheel of Time reference or something?
You don't know the Wheel of Time.
I know the Wheel. I've read one book. Okay, it was for an English class. So I read one book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, start somewhere, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
I don't even know what's going on here. I mean, I kind of just stumbled in here. There was a lady over there. She's a little distracted, but she kind of thought I was one of you guys, and she pushed me in here. I probably should try to get out of here before this thing begins. I'm not even supposed to be here today, and I wouldn't want to get in anybody's way. Starts looking for kind of a way to.
Hey, I know this guy walking up. This is one of my professors here.
As you say that, there is a elderly gentleman in a fairly rumpled brown suit making his way towards your table, in fact. And as you look around the space, you can notice that the other tables seem to be all having started the conversations with one another. They're already beginning in their survey, and those are all being led by what seems to be the teacher's assistants. As the professor makes his way towards your table, you can see that rather than the iPad or tablet that a lot of the others seem to be using, he just has a few sheets of paper in his hand, and he's got a pen that he's kind of twiddling between his fingers a little bit as he's almost haphazardly bumping into people making his way towards your table as he's reading the papers in his hand. You see as he approaches, he quickly scribbles something out on one of the pieces of paper and writes in something new, and he looks down at all of you seated at the table. He stays standing at one end of it, and he looks over at all of you, and he just says, good morning, everyone. Right, we're doing the survey, and you can see that he seems to be a little bit distracted in this particular moment. Spencer, you do in fact know Professor Atwood. You are taking one of his biology classes. I think probably Taylor has seen Professor Atwood before, but maybe not necessarily know or care what he teaches and whatnot. And Shiv, I am fairly certain, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that Paxton wants nothing to do with sciences and biology and the thing, so he probably doesn't really know Professor Atwood.
Doesn't care for it, so he's like, I don't know who this guy is. This forgetful man just come up to our table. Yeah, so the professor dude just kind of walks up to the table and kind of haphazardly begins, and he says, good, so this is an entirely an anonymous survey. You don't need to give your names, but if you could just maybe give a first name so that each of you can, address yourselves as we're carrying this conversation, it would be helpful, polite, and that sort of thing. You can just call me Professor Atwood or Professor, and that's going to be just fine for me. And then he just kind of looks over at Taylor and doesn't seem fazed by the notion that Taylor is obviously a custodian staff.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, what's this about? I'm not a student here, so I was just hanging out with my good buddy Spencer here.
You're not a student?
No, I work here, but I was hanging out with my good buddy Spencer, and we started talking here.
I mean, that's okay. It doesn't have to be students. You fit the age category, and it's $50 anyway.
$50?
Well, yeah, for participating in the discussion.
We get paid. Did you not know that?
Holy gee willikers, you didn't mention that, man.
Oh,
$50, it's like 5 hours of work here, man.
Yeah, I thought it was just for people with the flyer. That's why I didn't mention it. I wasn't trying to exclude you or anything. I mean,
no, don't worry about it, little bro. It's all good.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'll totally answer your questions. Yeah. Lay it on me, man.
So what's your name, young man?
My name's Taylor.
It's nice to meet you, Taylor. And then he turns and he looks at Reed, and Reed just kind of very quietly and sheepishly just says Reed. And then he looks over at Spencer.
Yeah, I'm Spencer, and I'm in your biology class. And
good. I hope you're learning a lot.
Yeah, a lot. We were learning all about mitochondrial DNA the other day, and how different people have different biological makeups that make it so that they have different abilities that they can kind of be better at. Like some people are better at thinking, some people are better at drawing, some people are better at running, some people are better. I'm talking too much. I'm really sorry.
It's like that thing that gives you the Force in Star Wars after Lucas just retconned everything he'd ever created.
It's not midichlorians, okay? The worst thing that happened with the sequels, George Lucas is a hack, okay?
What I'm saying, but it's kind of like...
happened.
That's probably where he got it. He was reading some biology 101 book, and he's like, "Oh, maybe,
The force is supposed to be a force. It's supposed to be a spirit force. The fact that he made it biological was
But you
just
can't
foolish.
explain the unexplainable, man. Like sometimes things happen. There are powers in the world that come to certain people, and you can't explain them. There's no explaining them, women. There's just the way things are, you know. Sometimes people are chosen, and you know what's important is what you do with that power. That's what's important.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Peter
kind
Parker,
of liked.
man.
I liked Indiana Jones. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that was good.
As the conversation just instantly goes dead silent. The professor is just like jotting down random notes and doesn't seem to really be phased by
The professor
any of
does
this.
look like Indiana Jones' father, do I?
And
Henry
as
Jones Jr.
as like there's the hushed talking there for a second, he just comes out of his and he looks over at Paxton. He's like, "Oh, and your name, young man?"
Paxton Langley. Just
They
call me
don't.
Pax, it's fine.
First names are fine. First names.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
usually when I say the second name, people kind of snap to and know what that means, but that's fine. Obviously, it's cool.
Does that name mean something? I should know.
Does this name mean? Get out of here, guy. Come on.
Sick burn, man. Sick burn.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Is this guy a professor here? I mean, come on.
He's one of the most highly regarded and intelligent people in this university.
Wow.
I'll have you know.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, he knows
yeah,
what's
well.
Yeah, indeed. What he
Yeah,
said. I've been
that's
teaching biology and bioethics for 25 years here.
You know, I'm kind of a big deal around here, but anyway, that's by the by.
Oh.
Never mind. Anyway, that's cool. Just call me Paxton.
He smiles at you and kind of tilts his head, and he looks at you kind of like, you know, the professorial version of, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah. He just like does that with his like flames cut jacket. It's like, yeah, well, you know, other track team, don't worry, it's cool.
Well, we are always looking for diverse opinions on these various topics that we are here to discuss. So, yes, let's just jump right into things. So, the survey is really only just 3 questions, and if you don't mind, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small like micro tape recorder. Certainly, I mean, everybody else is usually using like digital recording devices or their phones or whatever, but he's pretty old school, and he just sets it into the middle of the table and he hits the record, presses both sides of the thing and it starts recording, and he's like, "So this is just a fairly simple 3 questions. We're going to start with the first one. How does technology fit into your daily life?" And yeah, he... Like, you guys go, we're not going to role play out the entire thing because we do have a limited amount of time here. We are going to get to one of them that I think will be interesting, but he just like, you guys all give fairly good answers for yourselves, probably a decent diversity of range in there. And then the second question is, how do virtual worlds connect or maybe even separate us from each other? And you can see that he's very, very like earnest in this conversation. And I would like for each of you to please do so in Cypher. It's not like the skills are very nebulous, right? So this is essentially just an understanding roll, a insight perhaps into this particular individual, to see if you can glean any new information. So it's an intellect roll, and it's a DC of 2, which means that you need to have which means your target number is 6. And if you have anything that you think would apply to like your understanding of a person and what makes them tick, and that sort of thing, or potentially like reading people in other ways, I am all ears as to how you might reduce those difficulties.
I don't think I have anything.
All right. Go ahead and roll your d20, and your target number is 6, Taylor. And we need one from Spencer and Paxton as well, please.
I'm trained in identifying. Is that like identifying things or identifying?
Yeah, so that's more like your understanding of the physical world and like material things,
Gotcha.
and not as much this particular circumstance.
Sure, no problem then.
I'm gonna lean over to
This-
Spence and go, you think there's gonna be like a urine test at the end of this? Because I might not pass that.
I don't know. Oh wow, I got a 19 on mine.
You
I
got a
haven't got-
19, so that
just gonna
is what is that called? That's a that you get a bonus minor effect out of this
Oh,
because you
cool.
rolled a natural 19.
Nice.
Oof.
I rolled a
Natural 3 from Shiv.
Paxton
Lovely.
has no idea.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. So in this particular case, we're going to focus on Christian. Did you roll? You got a 12.
Yeah, I got a 12, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Taylor kind of sees the dichotomy in the questions that this guy's asking. He seems to be a low-tech dude, and he like teaches biology and such, and he seems to be asking a lot of questions about technology and whatnot. And you find that just very what's the right word, opposites, right? It's not, there's something incongruous about like, why is this guy asking these particular questions? And so it might start getting you can of course roleplay however you like, but it might start making Taylor start to think maybe something's not quite right here. So Kev, you get all of that, and in addition to that, I will say that you pick up on some very subtle clues in that whenever you guys give certain responses, he starts writing very fast, like so fast, like he's feigning the, like almost as if he is feigning this kind of quiet, reserved and whatnot. He seems to be very, very hyper focused and interested in your responses as you guys start talking about like technology and virtual worlds and all of that. And Paxton doesn't pick up on, no, not at all, no clues whatsoever, couldn't care less.
Yeah.
He's not even here necessarily for the $50. This is like something that the frat was like, you guys have to participate because these studies things happen like all the time, so it looks good for the fraternity if their members participate in this sort of thing. And so yeah,
I would say also because he's impatient, he's just like, come on, this is taking too much of my time. I've got places to be, man.
So Spencer's going to lean in towards Taylor and be like, so this professor, I mean, I've never really noticed this about him before, but he's just like Charles Xavier. He's just, it's like he really wants to know about us. It's like he's trying to figure out something about us.
Well, he's barking up the wrong tree, let me tell you. There's not much to figure out about me.
Is
I don't know. You got that kind of quiet, cool swagger, right? I mean,
No, I'm with you, man. It feels a little weird, but maybe we're just still kind of freaked out because of Earl earlier.
maybe, I don't know.
I mean, look at Paxton.
He just sort of
It
leans
looks
in.
like he's the equivalent of like oatmeal just lying there on the table. It's just not,
He just
there's
leans in
nothing
and
going
goes,
on there.
is that the Charles Xavier you mentioned? Is that another professor here? Do I need to be aware of them, or?
No, he teaches at the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
Hang on, he just gets out his phone and starts trying to Google that. Where's that? Chicago? I've never heard of that.
This guy.
It's in Canada. Don't worry about it.
Canada. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Canadians. Ugh.
I don't know, man.
almost
Pretty
as
good
bad as
hockey
Brits.
Yeah.
So as you guys are sitting there, the professor has taken down your answers to the other questions, and then he moves on to the third question, which is, what do you think about artificial intelligence, and is it helping us, or is it maybe holding us back? And as you all sit there kind of contemplating the particular question for a moment. One of you is about to like hold up your hand and answer and such, probably Spencer, and then you feel a tremor in the ground. Everybody just kind of like all of the noise in the library just kind of stops, and everybody looks around, and then the tremor happens again, and it is much more severe. Everyone can feel the table just starts rattling around in front of you. You can feel yourselves kind of bouncing up and down in your seats a little bit. Several people are like standing up. Books start like falling off of shelves and whatnot. And without warning, a thunderous explosion rattles the very foundations of the library. Books tumbling from their shelves, lights flicker, glass shatters as this shockwave of force ripples throughout the room. Chaos begins to reign as students start screaming and amidst the chaos, several of them ducking under tables or fleeing towards exits. Panic and confusion start to fill everything amidst the turmoil, when something else happens that it seems like only you individually are aware of this. A surge of mysterious purple energy just sweeps across the room, and you can all see it coming at you, and you feel it as it slams into you. No one else seems to have this same reaction to any of it as it sweeps over you, tingling against your skin, electrifying your senses. It's simultaneously exhilarating and terrifying. It's familiar and yet alien. The energy, it washes over you. You feel instantaneously different, transformed. Your limbs feel lighter. Your mind is sharper. You look at those of you that are gathered around the table, and in their eyes, you see this same realization. The chaos, everything around you slows to a crawl. Your perception of things becomes infinite and nothing at the same time. You know you're no longer just students in a library. You are something more, something extraordinary. You see each other physically transforming in front of your very eyes. The purple energy seems to be coalescing around you. The manifestation amongst yourselves is something taken from your very imaginations. The what you see is different from anything else. Each of you looks upon the other. The transformation, you don't really have time to fully comprehend what's happening as all of this change is inflicted upon you. Oops, that was the wrong scene. Because the chaos starts again, just as quickly as everything had slowed to a crawl. It starts moving fast again. Shelves are falling left and right. Computers are sparking and exploding. There's a fire starting over in the back of the large central library chamber. The whole place feels like it's tearing at the seams, and you can hardly see through the dust. You feel every shake, you hear every crash and scream, and you know you've got to do something. Time is ticking. Your fellow students need you. It's all chaos, but you're different now. There's something more. You look at each other with this expression of, you feel it too, right? And there's a camaraderie among you that wasn't there before, an appreciation for each other, a connection, not just power, but a desire to help, an almost welcome obligation that comes with this power coursing through you. What will you do?
Ooh. Spencer's going to look around, and as he stands up back onto his feet, he notices that this purple light is shimmering about him. It's actually semi-changed the colors of his clothing to be a purplish blackish, a silver kind of lining throughout different sections of it. He's going to look around, and just without even thinking, he's going to put a hand out, and he's going to help Paxton up to his feet. and the two of them lock eyes for a moment, and there's this understanding, as you mentioned, and then he's going to turn towards Taylor and he's going to say, "We have to help everyone. Is everyone ready to do this?" And he's going to turn and he sees that like there's a bookshelf or something starting to fall. He's going to be like, "No!" And he's going to put his hand out to try to stop it, but it's across the area, so he can't actually reach it. But he's going to try to stop it with his abilities, maybe?
All right. So in this particular case, as this transformation has taken place, while you don't know everything, certainly very little compared to what has just happened, you do have this innate understanding of the force of the power that is within you right now, and you instinctually know how to use it. Everything is kind of running on instinct, though, right? Like the knowledge that you have of it is like the same as it would be for someone that had lost their knowledge of everything in their life, but they could still speak, right? So it's that kind of circumstance that you're dealing with right now. You go to manifest, and I'm assuming in this case you wish to manifest your magic to attempt to stop that particular thing.
I'm going to try to use my hedge magic to prevent the bookshelf from falling on a fellow student who's been knocked over in that area. We'll say another freshman or some sort that's unconscious on the ground right there from the explosion. And I'm going to try to just use the hedge magic to stop the bookcase, maybe kind of stop it in its descent. I don't think I'm going to have enough power to or no wherewithal right now to move it or do anything like that. I just want to stop it for this moment.
Okay.
Like Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah. Totally get it. So given your knowledge of everything, you can use your hedge magic. It normally would cost you one intellect point out of your pool, but you have an edge of 1, so that reduces the cost to 0, so it doesn't cost you anything to do this. And normally the difficulty for doing this would be a standard difficulty of 2, so you would have to roll a 6. But between your power shifts and your skills and such, that technically gets reduced down to 0. So you don't have to roll for this simple of a task. However, you can choose to roll in case you get a 17 or higher or a natural 1, because then it can add flavor to the story that we're telling.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I'm all about adding that flavor. Let's throw some secret sauce into the spice here. I'm going to go ahead and roll.
All right.
And just 1d20, you said?
Yep, just a straight d20.
Okay.
So it's 10, so there's no special effect or anything about this. You easily... what does this look like as your dark energy master... your mastery of dark energy, I should say, takes over? What does it look like for you in this space as you prevent this bookcase from falling on a bunch of students?
Yeah, the energy around me, like I said, I'm wearing this trench coat, and the energy around me coalesces and it shifts so that the purple energy that is surrounding me also makes the trench coat almost look like long wizardly robes. There's arcane runes that carve themselves into the air around me, and as I put my hand out, it glows a bright, vivid amethyst color, and there is a similar color on the other side, almost like there is a giant fist that's reaching forward and grabbing and holding the bookshelf in place. There are these other sigils and runes that dance through the air around it. As I just slowly turn my hand, I'm surprised but yet knowing what to do, and it just this different connection between that point and the point where I'm standing in this moment. And I'll just say, "Quick, someone, go get him out of there."
So initiative is not like in other systems when it comes to Cypher. In this particular case, there are no adversaries, so you can act freely and willingly. You just have to chime in that you want to do something in this case. Do you look at anyone in particular when you say that, Kev?
I think I'll turn to Taylor, because I have the deeper connection with him because we were kind of pseudo friends before, so I'll just look to him. But it's set in the direction of both of the other two here.
Okay.
Okay, well, as you say that, as you're doing that, Taylor's unfolding this massive set of wings on his back, and while at first glance they appear to be kind of natural wings, if you were to look closer, you would see that they're in fact layers of like some sort of, futuristic space age glass kind of material that is flexible and that's got these electrical currents and whatnot and lines that are sort of running through it. It's kind of got this technological feel. And the first thought that Taylor has is, man, Earl's really going to be fucking pissed now.
Yeah. Right.
So as Taylor thinks that, he hears himself in his mind, and there's an echo to his voice now in his own mind. It's still his voice, but there is a like deeper quality to it in his mind, and that strange like duality echo that occurs within it. Not enough to disrupt him or throw him off or anything, but it's worth noting.
And when he opens his mouth, it's probably the voice that comes out this time. And as soon as he sees Spencer sort of look over and go, someone quick, someone go and get them, without really thinking, he says, I'll wing it over. And his wings expand and he just shoots forward and just sort of gliding kind of high up and then sort of dive bombing down and grabbing the students that are there, as many as he can. There may be too many for just him to grab, but he's going to sort of swoop down and grab one or two of them and sort of grab them and fly off and land somewhere safe nearby and say, get to cover, and sort of guide them forward.
Taylor has a pretty good might naturally, so what I'm going to say then is, let's call this a movement test to kind of do everything all together. You can fly the short distance easily enough, because you've got flight, obviously, because you have wings. So in this particular case, the movement test is more just like maneuvering and scooping the people up and getting them out of the danger more than it is actual like your ability to fly. And because you have that ability to fly and you're not like manifesting some kind of like power surge or trying to use your powers in a different way than intended, you can just fly over, and we'll call this a standard DC 2, so you have to roll a 6 or a better on a movement, and it's reduced by anything special that you might have for that.
Would my dexterity count in this particular case?
It would. So that gives you a bonus to your movement for your power shift of movement, so your difficulty is a 3.
All right, I'll take that. Incoming.
14.
Nice.
Yeah, great. Easy peasy. In fact, it's probably such that it even surprises a part of Taylor that he is able to do this with such alacrity. There's an instinctual notion that he has done something heroic like this before, but there is definitely an element of surprise to Taylor's normal human mind, if he still has normal human mind, as he flies across the room and scoops up these individuals. What does it look like as you quickly shunt them out the front of the building to safety?
So yeah, it's really just this sort of strange but graceful flight of him jumping up and sort of getting just a little bit of air, enough to give himself some velocity, and then the wings expand and he just, like I was saying, sort of dive bombs and picks them up sort of under the arms, and that probably slows him down a little bit. So just at that moment he gives a flap with his wings to sort of give himself a bit of propulsion, and then he will just sort of kind of glide up again, and then the wings extend down and he just sort of glides down and alights very gracefully on the ground, dropping the other 2 students. And says,
you had like 4.
Oh, I had like
scooped
4.
Up. Yeah.
drops them all down and says, all right, get out of here. Get yourself to safety. See if you can help anybody else on the way out.
Yeah, so as you say that, one of them looks up at you with, like, all of them are scared, first of all, right? 3 of them just freaking bolt. They're out of here. But one of them looks up at you with this sense of awe in their expression and wide-eyed marvel looking at you, and you hear them say, "Thank you, hero. Thank you. as they turn and take off running. So Paxton,
Yes.
as previously described, all of this is happening simultaneously, right?
Mhm.
There's like a bunch of secondary explosions happening in the back of the library. You can smell the fire that is quickly coming about, and there's just this chaos of people running. What would you like to do in this particular case?
Well, as I see this happening, everything around me has gone slow motion. I'm in normal speed. Everything around me has gone real slow. And I'm like looking around like, what the hell is going on? As I step forward, the speed of my foot moving forward breaks the cast off that was on my leg. And I feel like as if I was 100% on the running track. And as
Or
I
300
see
or
Spencer,
400% might be the more appropriate.
might be more appropriate, as I feel this like purple glow come over me, and my sort of outfit has now become this sort of all-in-one type garb. And as I see Spencer like slowly pointing over, I just take off running. But I'm running at normal speed, but everything around me, I feel like there's a blur behind me, as it feels like I'm sort of like ahead of the blur behind me as the blur catches up, as I take off running to save people. As I look to my right, as I see Taylor slowly flying alongside me, as I'm like full sprint, head down, as if I'm going to try and win the track meet. To try and save as many people as I possibly can, along with, as I see Taylor trying to do the same.
Perfect. Yeah, so in this particular case, you have an exceptionally enhanced speed, well beyond that of even the highest potential of a normal human. And so in this case, how many people are you trying to save?
I'm trying to save as many as I can possibly carry with my speed. Like if I can do like shuttle runs, if that's possible to go
Sure.
like that.
Yeah.
So
we're going to call this a running test for you. But because you're trying to save at quote unquote as many as you possibly can, it's going to be a higher difficulty. So your base difficulty on this is going to be, we'll call it 5. So your target number is 15. Now you have running both boost and trained or power shift and trained and all of that. So that's going to knock it down to a 9. And then potentially you have the ability to reduce it even further if you wish.
Now I've got an edge in speed. Does that do anything for that?
Yeah, so if you were to spend a point of effort, which would reduce the target down to a 6, that normally costs 3, but because you have a point of edge, it instead costs 2.
Okay, so I'll take the 2 and I'll reduce it even further then. I'll spend 2 on that.
So it's reduced down to 6 now.
Let's see what happens.
That's a 17. So that is a success. In combat, that would give you a boost to damage, but it's not high enough to give you any additional minor effects or anything, but it's an exceptional roll. And so, yeah, all of you, despite the fact that the streak moves at blinding speeds sometimes, somehow Taylor and Spencer and Reed are able to actually see him moving, right? It isn't a scenario where like he just appears there and then he's gone and he appears and he's gone and that sort of thing. You physically are able to track him and see that it is him and moving, and there's a familiarity to this. You've obviously never been in this situation before, and you certainly, no matter how fast Paxton might like to think he is on the track, you've never seen him move like this before. There's a familiarity to all of this that you know, as you see Paxton just like flitting about the room, moving people around and whatnot. And would you all care for me to introduce a GM intrusion?
Oh, we got to.
Sure. Please, yeah, go ahead.
Bring it.
All right. So I will go ahead and give 1 point of experience to Shiv. And Shiv, you can award one of your cohorts an additional point of experience if you like, which I highly recommend you do.
I will, and I will give it to Spencer.
Wonderful. So, perfect. So as you guys are moving around and getting these people to safety, flight, speed, the manifestation of dark energy that seems to manipulate the world around, you can see the top of the library start to riven as glass and beams and such start to fall into the central portion of the library, and you see the ceiling of it caving in and the two sides of the library falling down towards you inside, and the handful of additional people coming in. And so you need to decide at this point how it is that you would like to escape this situation, and to complicate things further, whether or not you wish to try to save the handful of remaining students that are inside the library still.
Ooh.
I encourage you greatly to think outside of the box when it comes to this particular circumstance, especially if you have any kind of ability or thought in regards to pushing your powers beyond their normal limitations, going outside of what your powers might normally typically be thought of in regards to how you would typically use them.
So I have a question about that very thing. One of my ability, can you use more than one power in a turn?
In this particular, normally in a combat scenario where we're action based, no, but we're not in a combat scenario. So
Okay.
if you're trying to do too much, I will tell you that. Otherwise,
Okay.
you should be able to think of it in that way. And certainly if you have any notion of trying to power stunt, which is what it's called when you use your power in a way not originally intended, if you have any notion of a power stunt, that is rolled into whatever power that you're trying to activate, and it just increases the difficulty. You might have to do a what's referred to as a stunt roll in addition to whatever the other roll might be, but it's very much open to just my discretion, as well as how good a job you do at describing what it is that you want to do.
Cool. Well, here's what I would like to do, if I may, then. I'll propose this. We'll see how this goes. One of my powers is Far Step, which is I can leap through the air and land some distance away for 2 intellect points. And I also have a Resonance Field ability, which is 1 intellect point, which allows me to basically cover myself with a force field made out of this energy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm wondering is, could I somehow junt myself in amongst the people that are going to have the glass fall on them, and put my hands up and make basically like a force bubble around us that protects us all as the glass shards fall down and smash into that?
Sure. I'm down for that. So yeah, you're
Cool.
basically just expanding the area of your resonance field from just you to be an area. So that is a perfect use of a power stunt. Your Far Step is just going to cost you your 2 intellect points to use, right?
Okay.
You're not going to need to roll anything on that. And so in this particular case, I think that you just need to roll an intellect roll. And because this isn't too far out of the norm, you're not trying to turn your resonance field into a weapon, right? You're just changing its area of effect. I'm going to say that your difficulty on this particular case is going to be a 4, which means your target number is 12.
Okay.
Right. And I will also say that because of your you have power shifts in you have training rather in your supernatural understanding. So this is like an understanding of magic. So you could reduce that down to a 9, right?
Okay.
And so you're spending 1 for your resonance field, 2 for your Far Step, So that's 3 points of intellect out of your pool that you're spending. You have 1 point of edge, so that reduces it down to a 2. And if you want to, you can spend effort, which will cost you 3 more points out of your pool for a total of 5, and that would reduce your difficulty down to a 6.
Yeah, I will do that. I will do all of that. So to make sure that I'm doing this properly, my pool of my intellect right now is 15, so it's going to reduce down to 12. Is how it's going to work? Because
No, it'll reduce down to 10. You're spending 5 total.
Spending 5
So you're
total,
spending
okay.
3 for the effort, 3
Yes.
for your powers, but then 1 less because of your edge for 5 total.
Okay. Just making sure I'm tracking it right. Okay.
Yep.
Then yeah, so I will do the effort on that, absolutely, and try to get over there. So I need to roll a 6 or higher, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, here we go. D20, baby.
Oof.
8.
Good thing you spent that effort.
I know it, right?
That was too close. Shit.
Also, for what it's worth, Kev, you do have your power crystal Cypher,
Yeah, I was
which
gonna have
applies to stunts, power stunts.
Okay. Okay.
So that would have further reduced it if you had wanted to use that. So just something to keep in mind.
Okay. Good to know.
Like if essentially you kind of want to use that if you're doing something super crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
With your power.
Cool.
So yeah. So Spencer just disappears in like a puff of this dark energy that kind of sparks and ricochets throughout the space, reappears in the middle of this group of like 5 students, and then what does it look like as he thrusts his hands up and activates his resonance field?
Yeah, so when I do disappear, it's like I reappear. There's like a smoke, like a curl of this purple smoke, almost like I'm bamfing into existence over here. And as I put my hands up, there are, just as the glass falls, the glass and the pieces fall from the ceiling, there are these small little ripples, almost like they're hitting the surface of water. And as they ripple out, they all connect into each other like a web, some sort of strange weaving. It almost looks like it's a loom or something that's getting woven around us, but it's made out of light and energy. And there are, if you look very closely, I can inherently see that there are very small runes all throughout the surface of this yarn that's sewn together, made out of energy. And I just stretch it almost like an unseen force making a macrame sweater. It just slowly spreads out around us, growing as the shards fall.
Nice. Brilliant. Love it.
Right.
So Shiv, Bleak.
Yeah, I have an idea. I would like to do a player intrusion,
Oh,
if I may.
I'm down. So it costs you 1
Hello.
XP.
I
Do
will
a
give you
player
that
intrusion.
XP.
Thank you.
I, as an explorer, I know this place really well. I work here. I know all the bits and pieces, and I remember that right now, thanks to a wonderful, massive donation by the Langley family, a nice little endowment. There's a new wing that is being built, and because the Langleys like, the big ostentatious stuff, there's a giant tower, a clock tower that is being sort of built. So there is just outside where the library is, there is a sky hook. And that would be my play and trade, that skyhook is there. And this is what I would like to do. I would like to fly up there, but just before I take off, I would tell Paxton, I would say, Streak, run up to the driver of that thing and tell him to give me some loose and run back down here. I'm going to need you for something. And then my idea is I want to fly up there. When he gets up there and tells the guy to give me loose, I want to grab the hook with the cable. I want to come back and I want to thread my way around and grab as many of the supporting girders of one side of the library as possible to sort of twist them. Then I'm going to drop it down to Streak so that he can then run it back and do something at the bottom and then go and hook it up somewhere to try and hold part of the building on one side, at least from collapsing too quickly.
All right, so combo
Down for
move
that.
style sort of deal here. So yeah, Shiv, you don't even need to make a roll for the speed aspect of it, because like you've got speed coming out your ass. In regards to like running out there, you don't have, there's nobody for you to tell to do the slack, so you end up just like slamming the lever up to kind of basically unhook the lock that keeps the tension on the hook.
Skyhook, yeah.
Yeah. And then you run back, giving
Superhero thumbs up.
yeah, giving Seraph a thumbs up as you come running in, who takes off into the sky, grabs onto the thing. So in this particular case, what I'm going to say is both of you are going to have to work together, rather than just like you flying alone through like the girders and stuff. It's like you fly through one, then you throw it across the room, and Streak like runs it up a wall and drops it down, and you catch it on the bottom, and then you fly through another hole and chuck it across the room, and so it's like you guys are working together to do this sort of thing. Yeah. And I'm gonna say for Christian, this is going to be a DC 5 acrobatics check for your flight. And I would allow you to lessen that difficulty using your flight exertion ability. Right? If you wanted to do that, think of the other things that you could use to potentially do that. And then for Paxton, I think that this is, I mean, he's got the running thing down. I'm gonna say this is like a jumping type of maneuver instead of running, and this is also DC 15.
Okay,
so
anything
that you can do to like reduce the difficulties down. Remember, you can spend effort to reduce things. If you have ciphers to manifest to reduce things, use them.
Okay, so I have a savant in balancing and climbing, and I've got one in accuracy because I feel I'm going to have to be accurate to get through and to catch and things like that.
Yeah.
Would that help?
Yeah. So, you've got training in it. You've got that, so that reduces the 15 down to a 9 before you do anything else.
Okay, I think I'm going to take the 9. I think I'm going to go for it.
Oof. Risking it all.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Did you note down the XP that you had gotten earlier, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I rolled an 11.
All right, that's the success on Paxton's end. So what do you got, Taylor?
So yeah, I will use the flight exertion. I also have a special ability called MacGyver that shit. So I'm wondering if I could use that to have because it is kind of what I'm doing. I'm making this thing do something it's not supposed to do, and so kind of being able to figure out, well, this is how much weight we can put on it. This is the angles we gotta hit. This, we need an anchor point. Like that kind of thing of like trying to sort out mentally, that GIF with all the things that doing the math before I roll it.
So you also have the dexterity thing that you mentioned earlier, which gives you a power shift in acrobatics. So that and your MacGyvering ability reduces your DC down to 9. And if you're doing an exertion, all you have to do is spend 3 might or speed. That'll reduce it down to 6. And then if you wanted to, you could also spend effort on top of that, but it's entirely up to you.
Well, I'm going to spend on might because I think it's more about strength, about hauling that cable in and doing all that. So I'm going to spend on might. I'm going to use the edge that I have in might. So it costs me only 2 points.
Well, no, you don't spend edges. That's permanent.
Oh, it's always in.
Every time you spend points in might, for you, it's might or speed. Every time you spend points in those, it's 1 less, no matter how many points you spend.
Okay. So I'll do that. And I'm at.
Okay, so you needed to spend 1 more point of might then.
I spent 2. Oh no, sorry. Okay. Math's not my strong suit.
You're Canadian.
So that brings me to a 6, I think.
Yep, your difficulty is a 6 right now. And then you wanted to spend 2 points in your speed, because you have 1 point of edge there, you could put effort into this, and it would only cost you 2 points of speed. That would knock it down to a 3.
Why not? Why not?
Come on.
Balls to the wall.
The seraph balls out. Let's go.
It's more like balls through the wall, but
Oh, wow.
That's gonna leave a mark.
15.
Yeah,
Nice.
baby.
Right.
Yeah, so with tremendous alacrity, speed, beautiful movement, and flight through the air, you guys perform this maneuver of tossing this skyhook and cable through all of the girders and such of the building. And just as the two halves of the building are starting to fall in, the streak darts out to the front of the building, holding on to this extremely heavy by normal, for normal people circumstances, this extremely heavy hook, and wraps it around this giant statue of like the first president of the university, out in the middle of the quad, and just like wraps it around it twice and lashes it onto itself, the hook onto the cable itself. It goes taut, and as the building just like rests itself in place, it sends debris and glass and whatnot flying everywhere, but this group of last remaining people, several of which hiding underneath of the dark magician's shield, are escorted basically out of the building. You guys also see kind of off to the side, Reed, who was at your table before, seems to have produced two very, very large, fantasy style, full head to foot shields that they're physically holding over their head, that appear to be made of this like purplish white light. And there's a group of people hiding underneath of that protection offered by Reed as well. And so as the chaos starts to subside ever so slightly, and the dust begins to settle a little bit, you hear the distant wail of sirens growing louder. They're coming to you, obviously. The emergency services rushing onto the scene, fire trucks, ambulances, police cars, all converging here on the quad of the university. You see helpers in uniforms and helmets like pouring out of these vehicles, taking control of the situation. People are being guided to safety, injuries being tended to. Like 4 fire trucks immediately like half barreling through, knocking over portions of whatever debris might be in their way, go rushing into the library and immediately start turning their water cannons upon the flames of the library, causing now even thicker black smoke to just fill the sky. But they are professionals, and they're here, and they seem to know what they're doing, and they're doing what they do best in this situation. No one seems to be questioning any of you, however. You all are kind of like standing there, helping where you need to, getting the people to, handing the people into the waiting hands of those meant to help them with their injuries and whatnot. But no one sees you as you once were. You are heroes now. Everyone that looks upon you, they look upon you with a awe that you've never experienced before. You look around the space and you realize that you did your part, and you did it well. I mean, in this world of superheroes, you were the superheroes that everyone needed today. And while there's an unknown sense of something else happening here, both inside of you as well as externally, explosions like this don't just happen. Something had to have caused this particular event. You need somewhere to go. You need to collect yourselves and discuss what has happened, and you take off, whether flying, teleporting, using your wings, or running with tremendous speed. You bid farewell in whatever way you think of in the moment, and escape the scene of this calamity as quick as you can to collect your thoughts and discuss what has transpired. And that's where we're going to take our break, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We will be back in
Awesome.
just a few moments to come back into this crazy action that is happening on the University of Illinois Chicago, where we get to see more of what these interesting heroes and their newfound powers and what they do with their newfound powers. We will be right back, just a few short minutes. Bye for now. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for that slightly extended break in there. I have a little toddler, and he needed some help in the bathroom, and I had to take care of that.
What does he means, Kevin?
Thank you, Daddy.
Oh God, don't ever do that again. Unfortunately,
against TOS.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our friend Kay will not be joining us this session. Some things have come up. We miss you, Kay. We love you, Kay. So sorry. But we press on nonetheless. So yeah, our would-be students and quasi-normal individuals, maybe with particular obsessions about science fiction and fantasy that we can leave to the periphery, have now evolved into superpowered beings and have used their powers to prevent a great deal of death, although couldn't prevent the destruction per se of the magnificent library that is part of the University of Illinois Chicago. As the first responders, emergency personnel, and such show up to the scene and kind of take control of the scene, there is a periphery thanks lent to all of you as you are recognized as heroes, even if no one recognizes who you are specifically, and you carry yourselves away from the particular scene knowing that the immediate threat to life is at least ended. And you have a lot of questions that you need to answer for yourselves. And so where is it that you think that you will all be going to discuss and try to learn more about what has transpired?
I would suggest Taylor lives in a converted garage, so when his mother became ill, he wanted to move in with her, but he didn't want to still be living in his mom's sort of thing, so they converted the old garage into a little sort of apartment for him, and it's kind of isolated just out in the suburbs sort of deal. So he's going to suggest maybe we can go there. We can definitely get in from, there's like a wooded area in the back, so we can come in from the back and sort of not be seen. And Spencer's maybe been there before, and he'll just tell Paxton sort of look up and follow where I'm going kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if that's good with everybody, I think that might be an option.
Yeah. So
Sounds good to me.
yes, between all of you, you all have some kind of ability to move with expediency, although perhaps not quite as expediently as Paxton likes to do, as he probably, runs and then stops and drinks a coffee and then runs a little bit more and has a hot dog and, runs a little bit more, that sort of thing. But yeah, but everyone does eventually coalesce at Taylor's garage. As you all arrive, Paxton, of course, is standing there, in the driveway, waiting for you all to arrive. As you reach this space, there's a comfort of home amongst all of you, not just Taylor. In this particular case, it's like the notion of all of you, Reed and Spencer and Taylor and Paxton, the notion of all of you arriving at a sanctuary together is somehow comforting to each of you in your own ways. And while Reed, who has always particularly been a quiet one, doesn't really say much in this particular case, once you like enter the driveway or the back way, however it is that you make your way in, once you're there and this sense of sanctuary does take over you, you find your manifestations, or these new manifestations of yourselves settling, and you come back to your normal everyday human person with an ease that seems simultaneously welcoming and concerning. You can still feel the power coursing within you, and as you make your way inside Taylor's place, any concern over whether or not the place is tidy or whatnot is like on no one's mind, even Taylor's, in this particular instance, because you are almost overcome in a way by what has just happened. You find yourselves standing almost on a precipice of something unimaginable, a bridge between what you know and what you don't know. In an instant, all of this has altered the very course of your lives, and you know inherently that you have been touched by a cosmic force, a fragment of something that is both ancient and infinite. The experience is a glimpse into the very fabric of what created the universe, or the multiverse as you understand it, and the feelings and emotions that are awakened within you, even though they're not full memories of necessarily, they resonate with these echoes of this celestial multiverse. You sense that this cosmic power in you comes from a kind of guardianship, a sense of balance, order, and justice in a way that is unknowable, but somehow you can feel it. You can feel the emotions and the heaviness of it. You can feel the vigilance of this cosmic force and its unending duty to maintain the weave of reality. It's, of course, shrouded in mystery to you, but these gifts, these powers that have become yours from whatever this cosmic force is, it is known that it stands for opposing the threat of the unimaginable. It stands for being in the way of what would harm others, for being the custodians of secrets and of other creatures that would shape or shatter the very fabric of reality. This force, you can tell, stands almost as a jailer to that which would dominate, that which would destroy. And this presence leaves this lingering, almost chill in you, because you know that this wasn't a fluke. Somehow, this ripple in the cosmic fabric that has caused this manifestation within you was caused by something, and you don't know what that cause is. This force that has altered you in unimaginable ways, that has given you these cosmic powers of origins from beyond, it was on purpose and in response to something, to some danger. And it couldn't merely have been to rescue some college students at a crumbling library. You're part of something greater now. something that defies your comprehension in this moment, yet within you, you can feel the strength, the wisdom, the courage to embrace this cosmic essence. You're not just students, friends, frenemies. You're not mortal anymore in this way. You now have a legacy within you that it goes beyond anything you had known in your normal human lives. Question is, what will you do with it?
Whoa. That's heavy duty.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that, not to quote Boromir, because he was a little bit confused with how things are supposed to work, but I feel like this is a gift. These are abilities that we can use to help people. I mean,
Well, we gotta think. We can't just sort of jump into this. We gotta.
Why not?
I need a drink. I need a drink. I'll go to a little mini fridge and I'll pull out a bunch of Fanta orange sodas and crack open some bottles and pass them around. I'll add.
Thanks.
Shoot down like half of it.
You haven't got anything stronger?
Oh, like cream soda?
Like alcoholic, man.
Oh no, man! I don't touch that stuff. This is all I need right here.
He just like chugs it. You're missing out, brother. You're missing out.
Paxton just like empties the bottle in a second, just like as if he didn't even have a throat. It just evaporates into his gullet.
So like, I'm not even sure what just happened really just happened, man. Like, you're talking about a gift, but I'm like still at the whoa part of what the fuck, you know?
Did you see anything that happened before? You all saw the purple thing, right? Did you see what happened before that? Because I don't.
Yeah, there was an explosion. It was a great... I didn't realize it at the time, but I can tell now, looking back on it, there was a feeling in the room. There was some sort of weird essence. There was like... You talked about the Force. You talked about... It was like that. It was like the one source was getting woken up. It's... Guys... It's like we're wizards or something. You know, this power, it's been awakened in us. We have a destiny now, guys. We have to.
I don't know where you're getting this awakened thing. I mean, maybe we're just been, exposed to some radiation or something, and we're like mutated, man. Like we're not gonna be ourselves anymore, man.
No, it's not like that. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel it. It feels right. You know, it feels like it's always been here, but now I notice it. I don't know. It's just.
That's called talent, right. My friend. It's called talent. When you have it, you know it. So, I can't believe. I mean, technically, I'm the fastest man alive.
Well, don't tell that to your dates.
Yeah, I mean, when you have one, you let me know.
Oh, come on, guys. We're not going to start bickering again, right?
Playfully, just jab him in the arm. Come on.
Look, listen.
Just message.
As that happens, the emotions that roil within you are amplified 20-fold, right? For each of you, and the individual emotions that you felt in that moment are just instantaneously amplified by this sensation of you've had this conversation before. Not these words, maybe not even this language, but the emotions of the camaraderie that you share right now have happened before.
This has happened before, and it will happen again. It's like Battlestar Galactica!
There is a bond and a kinship between you that you cannot explain, that certainly wasn't there before the event at the library, but it is there now.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is destiny. This is fate. We were supposed to be in that library. We were supposed to have this happen. We were supposed to get asked those questions, but...
I wasn't even supposed to be in today, man. It's my day off.
But you were there, though. That's the whole point. You were there, and you were changed. Remember, he told you, it doesn't matter who. It doesn't have to be a student. It was somebody who was supposed to answer the questions, and this is the ultimate question. What are we doing here? What is our purpose? This is it, man.
Wait, so you think the professor guy had something to do with this?
I mean, he was really interested in what we had to say. I mean, you saw every time we answered a question a certain way, he was taking very important notes. I'm telling you, man, he's our Charles Xavier. He's going to help us. He's going to be our mentor. He's going to guide us. He's going to teach us how to use these powers to help people, man.
Or he's the one that caused all this. And he's not going to be our Charles Xavier, man. He's going to be something much darker.
Doomsday.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's Galactus. Who knows at this point?
The hell are you two talking about? He's probably just had a concussion. He's probably back at the school. He's in an ambulance somewhere. I'm sure he's at. Did anyone see him get out? That's the thing. Did anyone see him?
I didn't see him get out. No.
We don't even know if we can do this again. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, wings, but I
as you think that, you immediately just manifest as Seraph unconsciously.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Like you knock over like your stand with your bass guitar off of the wall because your wings sprout out behind you and slam into the wall, and there's like a hole there now.
Yeah, I inherently throw my hand out and my hedge magic catches the guitar before it smashes into the ground and gets ruined. There's a sound in the air.
I guess I'll have to get used to this. I'll think back to, being Taylor again.
And you just morph right back in the blink of an eye.
Oh,
look, I saw how fast you were.
That question.
I saw how fast you were moving. Did you get him out of there?
I'm 100% sure I didn't see him. I didn't see him at all because everything slowed down around me. So I caught a lot of things that were happening and I just didn't see him. So I don't know.
Man, TMZ's going to be all over this.
Yeah.
It's a lead. You find out where this professor is, and then when we
as you say that, Taylor Reed just kind of shakes his head and he's like, "What do you mean? Didn't Celerity just do this kind of same thing in Times Square last week? I mean, guys, I know we're special, but I mean, there's other superheroes out there."
What?
Yeah.
All of you know that superheroes exist.
We're joining something bigger than ourselves, man.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I get
that's
what
how it always happens, man. Like they're just going about their daily business, and Captain Stronghold one day he's sitting there at the bank, just trying to get a new checkbook, and then all of a sudden, he's got that armor and that energy that's just.
I don't think it's like that. I think things like this, they come to people for a reason. There was a purpose why we were there today. There was a reason why we got this, and I hold up that flyer. There's a reason why we were summoned.
Oh. But a lot of people got that flyer, man. I mean, I didn't, but there was a bunch of people that got it.
Yeah, maybe they've all got powers too. I don't know.
I didn't see anybody else with powers there, did you?
No, I was too busy being awesome. We all were being awesome, man. Did you see what we did in there? It's like this and that and like that.
Yep, up top.
Yeah. Slap his hand.
Yeah. Cool.
Actually, no, we do this now.
Oh, the fist bump?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look.
Doesn't feel natural.
I know. We'll work on it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a superhero handshake? Do we have to have a handshake? Is that? Do we want to?
Guys, focus.
Maybe special.
Sorry.
I was going to say something about Dakota rings, but sorry. Go ahead.
No, look. We need to find that doctor, man. Sean Connery is the one guy who knows what's going on here.
Well, yeah, sure. I think we should find him too, because I mean, like I said, he was really interested in what was going on. He's a biology teacher. I mean, man, if he's not
He's
Xavier,
a teacher,
he might be
and
sinister,
as we all know,
man.
teachers are the real superheroes.
I don't know about. I think it's lawyers, really. I think it's lawyers.
I just manifest my wings and just slam Paxton with one of them right into the wall.
I just like sidestep quickly, so just smash into this wall. It's like...
You get the feeling you've done that before too.
Yeah.
All right, well, I can take to the air and try to spot him, but I don't know how else we go. Well,
I know where his
Well, we
classroom
know
is.
who he is, right?
Yeah, I know where his
Maybe we
classroom is.
can find his address, go to his place, start looking for him.
Go to a teacher's house. We can do that. Are you sure?
Well, who's gonna stop us? I got wings, and you got freaking black magic, and he's
Fastest man
whatever
alive,
he
yeah.
is, he vibrates really quickly. I don't know anymore.
Hey, I'd be good at a pie. Anyway.
So, are you guys cool with the GM intrusion here?
Go for
Sure.
it.
Bring
Yeah.
it.
I'm all
All right.
about it. Bring them all on.
I will award the experience point initially to Christian, and then
Sweet.
you get
Nice.
to award one of your cohorts an experience point as well. And in this instance, as you guys are like having this conversation, Reed goes over to Taylor's stereo, right? Because he hasn't seen a stereo like ever, but Taylor has tape deck, stereo, turntable, the whole 9 yards, set up on this rickety ass shelf on cinder blocks with a whole row of like vinyl
Milk
and
crate.
yeah, milk crates of tapes and vinyl underneath. And Reed is just fascinated by this, and he just steps over and he turns it on, and as soon as he turns on the radio, it immediately kicks over to a emergency services broadcast on the radio, like the kind of thing that interrupts normal FM communication and such that all radio stations are required to do. And there is an alert being broadcast that says the University of Chicago has just suffered a gas leak that has resulted in a massive explosion, and everyone is required to shelter in place where possible and evacuate the campus if you live within a 5 square mile area of the university. And so it goes into details about like who to contact and what numbers to call other than 911, because 911 is for emergency rescue only, that sort of thing, blah blah blah. And so then I need for Taylor to please make, this is going to be, I feel like this is going to fall within his wheelhouse of knowledge and understanding, so I'm going to automatically give you a shift on the difficulty. And we're going to call this an intelligence check to try to understand the gas leak, to try to learn more about that. And so if you have anything else that you think that would apply other than your just natural understanding and knowing of like the workings of the university, I'm all ears to try to reduce your DC.
I have knowledge tasks and problem solving tasks.
Perfect. I think that
Skilled.
makes total sense. So the difficulty was normally a 4, which makes the target number 12. And so the power shift I already gave you for your understanding and experience with the university, and then that ability that you just talked about, that reduces it down to a 6. And if you have any other ways to reduce, feel free.
I have something called Savant.
What
That's
is
a power
that?
shift? It's a power shift. I don't know.
Oh, that doesn't apply to this.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Be that
I
way. Jeez,
do not think I have anything else that would apply. I'll spend 3 points of my pool, my intellect pool.
Oh, you're going to put effort into it?
Yep.
Awesome.
I realize it's important, so I'm going to be like, shh. Just let me think.
That makes your target number 3.
I'm going to go over to the tape deck. I'm going to go through the tapes. I'm going to select one. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to open it. I'm going to put it in the player. Press play. Metal Health by Quiet Riot's going to come on. And now with these sweet dulcet sounds of Quiet Riot, I'm going to be able to focus and think.
All right.
And I'm going to roll.
That's an 11. Your target number was 3. You are good. That wasn't a gas leak. You know it
That
was not
wasn't a gas
possible
leak.
for that to have been a gas leak. First of all, the gas leak wouldn't have caused the little mini quakes before the explosion. It would have just gone boom. And second of all, there would have been a lot more fire.
No, look, guys, I go over and I go through a pile of magazines that I have, Popular Science or Popular Mechanics, and I pull out an old one and I bring it over and it's kind of musty and old. And I'm like, look here, check out this article. Look, the detail here, what happens when there's a gas leak. Look, there would have been fire for sure, man. There would have been some sort of explosion, some fire. There's no way that was a gas leak. Plus, there's no gas pipes there.
So what are you thinking?
Destiny.
I'm thinking it's a cover-up.
Yeah.
Cover up.
By who?
What's an evil corporation that's in town, or is there some big bad that we don't know about?
I don't know. What could be the point?
Have we found out we've got a nemesis already?
Yeah. My thought.
You know,
exactly.
like Larry Luthor, the Superman guy.
Lex Luthor. He's the Superman's arch nemesis. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, him, the bald guy. Yeah, him.
Yes. Well, it's all connected. It's got to be. Like I said, this is destiny. This is fate. And we have the ability and the power to do this. I think we should go back. We should find out. I mean, I know there's been a quarantine, but like you said, who's going to stop us?
No, it's exactly what Vizzini said. Go back to the beginning. The library is where it all began.
Right. Yes.
We got to go back to the beginning.
Yeah. There's got to be some clues there or something. It's only natural, surely.
Are you going to be okay, Paxton? I mean, 2 trips to the library in the same year.
Your
Are you
head
going to be
might
okay?
I'll be fine. Listen, when this is all said and done, we'll have a nice, big, bright library built for you guys. Don't you worry. I got some contacts.
Right
I
on,
know
man.
some people.
Nice.
My dad's on the board. Don't worry.
You can't buy knowledge. It has to be earned, man.
But you can buy the shell that knowledge sits in. Don't you worry. Come on.
But if you don't have any knowledge to put in it, it's just an empty shell, man. It's just an empty, vacant, vapid shell. It looks good. It looks great. It looks beautiful, but it's empty.
Yeah.
So it is worth mentioning, if you guys are intending to go back to the library, you have an opportunity that you could spend some time taking some recoveries, right? You can easily do a 1-hour recovery right now. And if you wanted to go to the library at night, you could also get in a 10-hour recovery, try to get back some points that were spent. I know some of you spent a decent amount of points, and I think Shiv might have not spent a single point.
These are points back into our pools is what we're going to get
Yeah,
back?
so basically,
okay.
if you want to spend a recovery, you would roll a d6 plus 1 for no matter which recovery you want to do. You would roll a d6 plus 1, and that restores spent pool points.
Oh, cool.
Do we have to dedicate it to a specific pool? Like, say,
Nope. You can
No?
divvy it up however you want to divvy it up,
Yeah, I want to do
and you
that
can
then.
you can do it after you learn the roll as well.
Okay, so yeah, let's do a 10-hour one. And let's
Yeah. Let's do it.
hang out here.
Yeah.
We'll order some fucking Dominoes.
Yeah.
Drink some Orange Crush. I'll put on Revenge of the Nerds.
I'm going to finally see it.
We probably have time to watch a couple, and then we'll go get some rest.
I was going to say 1, 2, or 3.
All 3.
Well, there you go.
This first one's problematic. This whole part at the end, man, it's just unnecessary. This didn't age very well, I'm going to be honest.
No, but you got it. The message at the core, man.
Yeah,
What's important, you know?
gotcha.
Yeah.
So 1d6 plus 1?
Yep.
Is that what we're rolling?
So, and you could do both. You could do your 1 hour and a 10-hour if you want.
Yeah,
I'll
what's the
give
one
that
shot?
to
I'm
you.
going to do... Is that 2d6
Yeah.
then?
2d6 plus 2.
Well, let's see if I need to do both of them because I'm only down 5 points for my intellect.
I'm only down like 2. So,
Yeah, so I'll do them both then.
Yeah, me too. So that's 3.
I'll just do 1.
Cool. So I get 4 total because, oh, I'm sorry, 6. 2 and, wait.
I get 8 back.
Back to max.
Oh, it's 2 and a 4. Okay, yeah, so I'm back to 15, which is, yeah, my max.
I got 8 back. So I'm going to put 4.
Do you lose your edge if you've used it?
Nope.
Does that?
Nope,
that
edge is
stays
permanent.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
permanent. Yeah, it's
Edge
permanent.
is a
Perfect.
permanent
Okay.
thing. It's
Awesome.
it's very hard for you to get edge, and so it is a permanent thing. Like for
Sweet.
you with your
Ah.
1 point in your speed pool, any
Yep.
speed spends that you do just get
Knocked
reduced
down
by
a bit, yeah.
1 for the round. Right.
Perfect. Okay, cool, lovely.
It isn't for every individual spend that you do in a round, it's just the total for the round. So if you spent 1 point in a round, you would then spend 0, and then the next round, say you spent a total of 6, then it's reduced down to 5.
Sweet.
Copy that.
Is there any sort of, because of the fact that I'm intelligent and I've got an intelligence power shift ability, is there any way I can do like research in the time we're sitting here? Any sort of like, I don't know, get on the internet, or maybe I have
Sure.
library books out or something that I don't know.
I mean, even if I mean, you've got your phone, you could do research on the phone. I imagine that Taylor doesn't have the most amazing broadband internet connection, but he does live in Chicago. Even the suburbs of Chicago are decently well connected, and he probably at least has a basic computer. If you wanted to research something specific, you of course have your university access to access the school's online library and such. You just tell me what you want to research.
Yeah.
I have one of those blue iMacs that I refurbished.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's a blast from the past right there.
Wow.
Jeez.
I actually have one of those in my garage, and I'm turning it into a fish tank.
I mean,
I think
man,
it'll work better as a fish tank than as a computer.
Right?
So.
I MacGyvered that shit. I MacGyvered that shit. It's running fine.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, what I want to do is I want to research the professor. I mean, I know he's a biology professor because I've had him for a couple of weeks now, but I want to see, his previous experiences. Basically, I'm going to kind of be a little bit sociopathic. I'm going to kind of snoop into his background, find out
Sure.
where he's from, what history
Cool.
he has, that sort of thing.
Cool.
Just stalk the guy.
Yeah.
He probably has one of them MySpace books or something.
Yes.
MySpace books.
My book. Yeah, my book. Yeah.
Right. Space book.
Face.
Space
Yeah, the
book.
face.
Space.
Oh, I like space book. That sounds cool. I like that.
Facebook.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna, while he's doing that, I'm gonna call Beth and ask Beth if she can go by the school and pick up my car and
Okay.
drive it back. I'll tell her where I hide the keys,
Yeah. Cool.
the spares, so she could get my car and drive it back here. I'd appreciate it.
It takes her a long ass time because she has to like hop the train and a bus and whatnot
Oh, wow.
to get
Sorry, I'll buy
into
pizza
Chicago.
when she gets there. I'll get her some pizza.
Oh yeah, she steals a slice. Cool. So Kev, this is going to be a researching test, which you can use your intelligence for, and because you have 2 in the power shift, that means it gets reduced by 2.
Nice.
And I'm also going to say that Reed can help you, so
cool.
that gives you a equipment bonus. Basically, it's the same kind of bonus. The help action basically does that, but that does reduce your difficulty down an additional 1. So that brings you down to a 6 total, and you've got and then whatever else you've got to come up with that could potentially reduce the difficulty.
Cool. I do have a special ability called Knowledge is Power. That's for knowing about skills. That's all probably included.
That
isn't
are
it?
that's already
Yep,
factored
okay.
into your skills.
Never mind. I believe, let's see, skills, identifying, I'm trained in, and that's probably all that might help me. So I'll just roll with the 6. It's fine. I'm pretty comfortable with that. I have a special ability. Is it a stunt boost? This perfection that I have. The user treats their next action as if they had rolled a natural 20. How does that work? It's below my stunt boost and my vanisher ability that I haven't used yet.
Oh, that's one of your ciphers. So that's your
Okay.
cosmic gift.
I
If you
see.
wanted to use that cosmic gift now, you can, but it goes away.
Okay.
Ciphers disappear after you use them. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean you can't get ciphers back during the
Mhm.
game.
Okay.
So it's up to you.
That's okay. I'll just roll with the 6 because that seems kind of a waste
All
for
right.
this.
Cool.
So roll the D20.
Roll
Trying to
it.
get 6 or above.
19. That is a critical success with a minor
yeah.
effect boost. So you and Reed kind of pour over the computer. Eventually Reed like stops with the computer trying to help you with that because like it's an iMac, there's only so much you can do, and he just like pulls out his tablet and he like goes on, like tethers it to his phone, goes online and starts helping you research that way. And between the two of you, you are able to determine that the professor has been at the University of Chicago for 25 years.
Wow.
They are a very long tenured professor, very, very well respected. They've always gotten very good reviews by all of the students of the various courses that they have taken. There's always some bad reviews here and there, but in reading like the bad reviews, you can plainly tell that it's from, well, no offense, people like Paxton that fail the course and blame the teacher, sort of thing. And
just bitter.
yeah, that sort of thing. But which none of that raises any suspicion. But then at the very end, you find something that is odd, and you don't know how to really react to it. But there is an oddity in that he used to take sabbaticals every year. Once he became a tenured professor, he took like 3-month-long sabbaticals every year to go and take part in some research study abroad, or to go and be with like fellow luminaries in the field and whatnot, always with this drive of like furthering the research into bioethics. Bioethics has always been his biggest passion. He has to teach biology because not enough people take bioethics to dedicate a single professor to exclusively. But 4 years ago, he stopped doing his sabbaticals, and he has only been a professor nonstop ever since. And he stopped going on these events and doing these things, these other research studies and whatnot, to, further the field of bioethics. No known reason why. But dude's got a spotless record.
Okay.
That's suspicious, dude.
Nobody's perfect, but I don't know. This is our mentor. He's here to help us.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe just like got a second family or something. Maybe it's just like a adulterer or something.
What? He's old and stuff, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
it happens. These people, they do weird stuff when they get old. They go out and they wild parties and things like that. My dad had
Thinking about rich people.
Your dad does that? Your dad's a swinger?
my
That's
dad
gross,
had a friend that had like
Oh,
a
a
big fish
friend.
bowl.
a friend.
And it was
yeah.
his name.
The key
Greg.
party, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
just like I had a
Taylor.
friend who got busted by his parents for watching. Oh wait, you know what? No, this isn't about me. This isn't about your dad, okay? This is
Hey, my
about
dad's. Wait, whoa.
this is about the task at hand, okay? He seems like he's a clean guy. I don't know. I feel we should find him. We should talk to him. Maybe
Well,
he
let's go
has
to the
information.
library and check it out,
Yes,
and then
right,
we'll see
we
if we can
Yeah, we'll see that.
lay a hand on Professor XYZ.
Wood,
Professor Atwood.
if that's his real name.
His man, you're paranoid, man. Why would it not be his real name? People don't have fake
Yeah,
names.
I mean, who
Says the
Charles
dark
Xavier-
magician.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
as you all
Jazz
pile
hands.
into Taylor's car, this old beater Chevette, you make your way back into Chicago proper.
It takes a couple of minutes because I got to select the perfect tape
right.
for the ride.
We're just like looking at that.
Rock like a
Jeez, every time.
hurricane.
I think we're gonna
Anyway.
go with. Oh, this is what we're gonna go with. I put the tape in, and I go, for those about to rock, we salute you. And then the song starts. And then as we drive off and
Anyway.
the camera looks up, you hear the.
All right. Simmer down now.
It's our theme song, guys. We
Simmer
just
down
found our
now.
theme song.
All right, so later we're at the library.
As you
and
go to investigate. Oh god. All right. Serious
Okay, here we
face.
go.
As you go to investigate the wreckage of the library, it is a scene of chaos. There are charred shelves toppled over, computers blown apart, piles of ash where books once stood, and the scent of just burn fills the air. It is mingled with a awful dampness from burst pipes and the sprays of fire trucks. Everything is soggy, charred, and broken. But amidst the destruction, there's something that catches your attention. You feel a pull towards the back of the building, an energy that is both familiar and not. Amidst the most significant portions of the destruction, near the machine room that was once where the heating and cooling systems were for the library, there is an almost resonating power that isn't visible, but it's something that you can feel. You start to move your way through the debris and the rubble. You toss aside some of it, trying to reveal something, anything, to explain this feeling that you have. And as one of you tosses aside a chunk of the rubble, there's a glint, a bit of something shining in the debris of the ground, something that doesn't belong, and you move down and start digging some of it away, and what you find is nothing short of incredible. You dig away and reveal elements of a machine, but not one that you've seen before, certainly not one that would have been in this room previously. It's almost like something out of a mad scientist's dreams. This thing's got metal and wires, aplenty, but there's more. There are crystals attached to it, shining with prismatic color, and bits that almost look like some kind of organs or flesh that are intermixed and connected between all of this craziness. It's honestly something out of those old Azaki stories, the ancient alien civilization from so many eons ago. It's definitely a mix of technology, Azaki technology, and something else, crystal, and some kind of life, all like mashed and mangled together. You can't help but feel that it may have been alive somehow. Certainly not anymore, though. And the more you look at it, the more you feel like this machine has something to do with everything that has happened. So what now? The machine's a clue, for sure, but what is it telling you? What does it mean for what's coming next? As you all four just stand up and move back and start looking at one another confusedly, one of you starts to speak as though, positing some type of theory as to what it might be. When
Cylons.
When you hear a laughter behind you. You turn and you look, and you see the professor standing there. He looks completely normal, as you had seen him before the library exploded, and he just stands there staring at the lot of you, some 50 feet away or so, just laughing loudly. And in this dark, awful space, his laughter feels menacing in a way. You stand frozen, eyes locked upon the professor, knowing that there is something different, something horribly, horribly wrong. And as you watch him, his form begins to shift. His face contorts. No longer the familiar figure that you have come to know. His body becomes almost rock-like, a crystalline structure emerging from within, consuming all of him that was once human. It's a form that's alien, terrifying, and yet somehow familiar to all of you. The emotions that he elicits just looking upon this being are known to you. He's a Zanari, and you feel it deep within your bones, even though you don't understand how you know that. The air grows cold, and the professor's voice, now sharp and unrecognizable, rings out. Foolish children, you think you can stand in the way of the Zanari's grand design. We are the heralds of war, the bringers of conquest across all universes. Your earth, your pitiful existence is nothing but a stepping stone in our eternal quest. I am Korend, and I will bring my people from their prison, and I will use the very power of our jailers to do it. His words are a threat, and you feel it in your very core. You don't know how you know, but you understand that he must be stopped. The fate of not just this world, but all worlds, all universes now rests upon your shoulders. The battle has begun, and the eyes of your once trusted professor now gleam with a malevolent, otherworldly might. You barely have a moment to catch your breath when something catches your eye. From the very ground behind the professor, just at the edge of the library itself, in the space that once was full and normal, in that wide open venue, you see a machine start to emerge. Its structure, unlike anything that you've seen before, it's as if the earth itself is giving birth to a machine of intricate design, clearly influenced by the Azaki technology. It now glimmers with an almost alien glow of crystalline forces that are attached to it, and this almost pulsing component in the center like a heartbeat. The machine whirs to life, lights flashing, and a rift opens in the sky above the UIC campus. It begins as a pinpoint of darkness, a void in the sky, and then it starts to expand, swirling and turning, pulling the fabric of reality. The vortex grows, a cacophony of color, a maelstrom of chaos, all colliding as strange shapes move within, hinting at something beyond, something certainly out of your understanding. The air is crackling with energy around. You tear your eyes away from the vortex, mesmerizing and horrifying all the same. You feel a pull towards this rift, that this awe-inspiring power within it. This Korend, this Zanari, is calling something, summoning something from the depths of the cosmos, and you realize it's not just the machine that's been awakened. Something more significant is happening here, and it's not just a tear in the sky, it's a doorway, an invitation for something else to come through. And I need for everyone to please roll initiative. So, the way initiative works in this particular system is that your target number, in this case, because of your adversary, is a 15. So all that needs to happen is that one of you needs to roll above a 15, or yes, above a 15, in order to have your entire group go before the bad guy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
That speed roll?
Yes, so initiative is a speed roll. Some of you have certain abilities and such that can reduce the difficulty of 15 down lower if you wish to activate them or use them in some way.
I have a skill called initiative.
That means that you're trained in it, and right, you're either trained in it or specialty. I think it's just trained though. And so just being trained in initiative will reduce your difficulty for your roll from a 15 down to a 12.
Nice.
I also have danger sense, which says your initiative task is eased. You pay the cost each time the ability is used.
Sweet.
So that reduces it down to a 9 as long as you pay that cost. But I think that cost is 1 point of speed, so you have an edge in that.
Yeah.
So that's a 0 cost for you. So your difficulty is now a 9.
Nice.
What about
Cool.
the rest of you?
Well,
Only one of you has to succeed here.
right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna roll. I'm just gonna roll against the 15 because I have confidence in my companions that one of them will pass it.
All right. And what about you, Shiv? You got anything
No,
special?
I'm trained in initiative, and I've got a power shift in initiative. According to
Okay.
this.
How much is your power shift in initiative?
I don't know. How do I find that out?
So if you look under your power shifts, it'll be either a 1 or a 2. So yours is in dexterity, which you have a 2. So
Two.
that
Yep.
means it's reduced 2 steps. So you're reducing a total of 3 steps without using any other abilities.
Nice. Okay, so that takes it from a 15 to a 12. Is that right?
No, 3 steps. So a total of 9
3 steps,
points.
sorry.
So 15 to a 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow, that's
Right.
awesome.
Going for
You're
that then.
speedy.
I
My
know.
roll
Yeah. I was-
coming in.
It's your
a 2.
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Oh, natural 20. The guy that only needed a 6 comes in clutch with the
Hell yeah,
natural
Paxton.
20.
Overachiever.
Watch this, you fucking nerds.
We shall have
Okay.
our revenge.
So, with a natural 20, that's a major effect
Fuck
that is
yeah.
going to happen here. Unfortunately, this is not a combat action, so this effect can't do anything to Zorend, who is your adversary in this case. But if you have an idea for something cool and awesome to happen here, I would be down for whatever idea you've got.
Oof. Right. Okay. I'm thinking we need to close this rift. So I personally want to try and get to the machine and try and take it out. If there's like rubble, I'm using it. I'm like trying to whip up a hurricane to damage this machine with my speed using the debris
Okay, cool.
around it.
So then what I'll say is that your major effect is actually going to be a free power shift for you on your action to reduce your difficulty of whatever it is that you want to do. That
Okay.
one. Okay, so you guys get to go before Korend, the Zanari. You can choose whatever order you wish to go in.
Yeah. Well,
Shiv already has his idea, so I'm thinking he
Yeah.
goes first.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll look at you guys and just be like, I'm going for the machine. You deal with that fuckhead. And I'm just like,
Yeah, so I'll just nod in his direction, and as I turn, the purple energy washes up over me, and I once again look like the enshrouded wizard. There's some sort of I had a pencil in my hand, and I pull it up, and as I push it down, it turns into a real long crystalline
oh,
battle staff, and I'm like, "You shall not pass."
Nice.
I'm going to look at him and go, is your name even Atwood, man? and spread my wings.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Like, is your name even Atwood, dude?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Kind of shady, man.
All right, Shiv. So you're going for the machine. You're attempting to
Correct.
basically do a vortex of power to damage this machine, right?
Yep.
So we will call this, because you have the cool ability, no need for weapons, which basically means that whenever you do anything to harm something, it counts as a medium strike instead of a light strike, which means in this particular case, you are able to damage the machine. Now, the interesting aspect of machines or objects in Cypher is they don't have health per se. And so you just have to do any kind of an effect that is capable of damaging them. In this case, anything that does medium weapon damage or better, and that moves them 1 point down their damage track. And if they get to 3 points of damage track, they are destroyed.
Okay.
So, for this particular case, you are like more than 50 feet away from it. So you're going to have to use your fleet of foot ability to move the long distance and take an action. So let's see. You'll have to spend 2 points of speed to do that.
Okay.
Reduced by 1 because of your edge. And you'll have to make a DC. In this case, you'll have to roll a 6 on a speed test to see if you can get there and still perform your action.
Okay. And I can't reduce that any further.
Sure. You can reduce it further by spending effort.
I will spend... Ooh. Yeah, I'll spend my 1 effort to get there.
Okay. So so that's just spending... No. You keep your effort.
Sorry.
You just spend 3 points of edge. 3 points of your speed pool.
Ah, perfect. Okay.
And that automatically reduces your difficulty down to a 3.
Come on. Higher than 3. Oh!
Oh my god, another natural 20. Dude.
Oh, rich kids are the best.
This is why he's a Langley, yo, right here.
Yeah.
He bought
Okay.
all those successes. You just know it.
All right.
Order.
Damn. Okay, so this is a major effect. Here's what I will say then. You still have your 1 shift from your previous natural 20 that you can reduce a difficulty down on this next roll, right?
Okay.
For your vortex. And what I will say is, if you succeed in this because of the major effect, you're going to do 2 levels of damage to the machine.
Okay.
So you're doing this vortex. We're going to call it like a modified version of your swipe attack.
Yep.
As you just hurl your speed up and bring a whole bunch of debris into it to start slamming into this machine. So this is either a speed or a might test for you, whichever one that you want. It is considered a swipe in here, so you automatically have your difficulty reduced by 1. You have your difficulty reduced by another 1 because of your previous 20. Your target number was 15, so now it's a 9.
I'm going to spend some speed on this. I'm going to spend 3 on this.
So unfortunately, you already spent effort this turn.
Oh.
You already did effort this turn.
Okay.
Now, you could use your stem, which is your Cypher.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
eases your next action by 3 steps. It's free for you to use the stem.
I'll use it. Yeah.
All right. So that reduces your 9 down to a 0. And that's an automatic success. as you hurl up this vortex of debris and rock and rubble and charred bits of the library and whirl it in this almost like tornado, slamming into the side of this giant machine that has caused this vortex to appear. The machine rocks to the side, and you can see a swirl of dark energy just like ripple up the beam into the vortex and start mixing with the vortex, making it even more chaotic and crazier than it was before. Who would like to go next?
You go ahead.
I think seeing that Paxton's off and doing well with the other thing, my goal will be to try and prevent Professor Atwood, if that's even his name, to approach or to sort of interfere. So I'm going to take to the sky, and so I'm going to do another one of those maneuvers where I kind of go up and sort of dive bomb. But I want to kind of come in from behind so that he either turns away from me, turns towards me and away from Spencer to kind of give Spencer an opening on the back, or that if he stays focused where he is, then I'll get an opening on the back. So I'm going to sort of circle around him, and then I'm just going to kind of dive on, bring the wings in, and clip him in the back of the head with my wings as I go by. Not necessarily, I guess, intending to do too much damage or anything like that, but if nothing else, try to keep him occupied while hopefully Paxton heroically sacrifices himself to save the rest of the world.
Nice. So you are within short distance of him. Normally you wouldn't be able to close in on melee to him without making rolls, but you have a flight ability that lets you close in right away and go after him. So you don't have to roll anything for your speed in this particular case. But you do have to roll for, I'm assuming you're doing a wing attack upon him, right?
Yeah. What's my Cypher winged burst? What does that do?
So it's an area boost Cypher. So it expands the effect of your wing attack to basically affect to go larger. So in this case,
So
it's
if there was like a need for AOE, for
correct.
example.
Yeah.
All right.
So you need to do a melee attack against him. So this is either might or speed, your choice. Because you have a power shift in your wings, the normal difficulty of 15 gets reduced to a 12. So, and that's before you do anything else to improve your ability to hit.
All right. Well, I have power shift 1, single attack wings.
That's what I just talked about.
Oh, sorry. Accuracy?
You don't have accuracy.
Why is it on my sheet then?
It's there, but there's not a point in it.
Oh, well. I don't think I have anything else I can apply to it.
You can put effort into it, so you can spend.
That was I know that I can. I was looking for other things, but yeah. So for sure, I will go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I'll do a might attack with it. So I could put
you're doing. You can, with 1 point of effort, you can spend 3 points of might, reduced by 1 for your edge. And that reduces your target number down to a 9.
So I'll do that. I'm on to 10 there. I don't think I have anything else really that can help. So that's my dexterity. No, probably not. Okay. That'll be that. See if my dice can roll above 10.
Hey!
Yeah.
So 17 has a damage boost attached to it. So your normal damage of 7 then gets jumped up to an 8. This thing does have a couple of points of armor. So what does it look like as Seraph flies through the air and slams into this thing with its cosmic wings?
I think he does a thing where he, as I was saying earlier, he kind of flies up and around him a little bit, and then he's gonna power bomb down into him and sort of wrap his wings around him, so he looks kind of like a torpedo as he's sort of spiraling and sort of coming in. And at the last minute, the wings are gonna open and sort of batter him as I fly kind of around him to try and.
Nice. Yeah, so you fly around him, you slam into him, you definitely injure him as his body rocks to the side. Chunks of rock and crystal fly off of him, and he stares at you with his horrible, pain-filled red eyes. Spencer.
Can I say something? Sorry.
Sure.
I'm going to say, Spence, he's made of rock. You got anything that'll rock his...
Rock him like a hurricane, one might say.
Yeah, that's right. You got anything that can rock him like a hurricane? Just to try to give you an idea that if there's anything you can do that can, shatter rock or,
I have something just for that, actually. So what happens is, inspired by the fact that my friend wants me to rock him, I'm going to take that staff and on the ground, and what's going to happen is I'm going to use it as the Cypher that it is. It is a power crystal that if I need to, I can use it to do power boosting stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an onslaught against this foe, this evil guy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use it as a mind slice ability. So what this is going to do is this is going to bypass his crystalline armor and slice into his intelligence to do points of intelligence damage.
Okay. So
that,
that's the normal effect of that power.
Okay.
What are you doing for a power stunt that makes it outside of the normal bounds of onslaught?
What I would like to do is I would like to hit him with it in such a way that when it cuts through it, I want to disrupt him somehow, make him break his concentration, maybe even stop what's going on in the air above us, and try to maybe somehow lose his connection there. If I really could, I would really, in essence, really like to somehow nullify him, make him not function, stun him, I guess you could say, but that might be a little too hard to do.
What if you do a vibration thing that might break some of his...
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Kind of pulls it apart, maybe makes him wrestle with his inner turmoil here.
Would you allow me to do a GM intrusion here?
Yeah.
You don't have to. You could spend an XP and stop it.
No, it makes it fun. Let's do it.
All right.
So I get an XP for that?
You do, and you can hand an XP to one of your friends. Don't forget that you guys can use XP to re-roll stuff.
Yep. I currently have 3. I'm going to give my XP that I get to hand out to Bleak, to Taylor, because I know that we're working in concert with this attack. We're both trying to go together against the professor. So I'm
in concert.
Okay.
So bring in the music.
In this particular case, as you are. Go ahead and roll a supernatural understanding intelligence check, please.
Oh, cool.
So your power shift for intelligence, the DC on this is going to be 18.
Okay.
Your power shift intelligence, I'm sorry, not 18, 15, because he's a power level 5. 15. Your intelligence is going to reduce that down to a 9 because of your intelligence into knowledge, science, and crafting. And then your supernatural understanding will reduce it to a 6. And you can potentially spend effort, if you wish to, as well, to reduce it further.
Yes. So with the Cypher, if I use that into it, the Cypher
is not related to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to that. This is related to my GM intrusion.
Okay. Gotcha. So that's a 6 I have to roll against?
Yep, unless you want to spend effort to reduce it.
No, I'll just roll it.
All right.
12.
It's almost a 17. Still, 12 is more than enough. So, all right. Christian, I need for Seraph to please roll a might defense roll, please. As he is getting attacked by Korend.
It's attacking me how?
He is using his giant crystalline form to slam you to the side and knock you away from him.
All right. Yeah. So my defense, does my celestial cuirass do anything for me in this case?
That's your armor. So if he does hit you, it's going to reduce the damage that you take.
All right. Does my dexterity help?
Well,
I'm attempting to dodge.
think so.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you've got
defense.
might defense power shift, so 1 point reduction from that dexterity ability, and then or I'm sorry, the resilience ability.
Resilience, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're trained in might defense as well, so that reduces the 15 that he is attacking you with down to a 9.
All right. I'm rolling on a 9. His eye touch.
Oh, that's a 6.
no.
So, his enormous.
Can you use XP to reroll?
Pardon?
Can he
Oh
use
yeah,
his
you
XP
could
to
you
reroll?
could spend an XP to reroll if you want.
Can
You've
you
got
give me a
3.
description of what happens to me, and then I'll tell you if I want to do that.
No, you need to decide now.
You don't need to tell me the damage, but just I want the.
He's swinging his arm back to slam down on top of you and send you careening away from him.
So can I spend my XP point to get a player intrusion rather than?
Potentially, sure.
Ooh.
So what's happened is in the attack that Kevin did earlier, that Spencer did earlier, that vibration attack.
That hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened. Oh, okay, damn
It's
it.
it's in the swirl of happening. This is all
Okay.
kind of happening
gesturing.
simultaneously
All right, fine.
as he is onslaughting
Jazz
against
hands.
this entity.
Yeah, fine. All right, I'll spend an XP and reroll that.
Okay.
I was gonna have there be a hairline fracture in his crystalline hammer, and then with the vibration, it was gonna. Oh, these dice are horrible. I'm never using this thing again. It's so
Oh,
horrible.
man.
It's so horrible. I don't
At
think I
least it
rolled
wasn't
above
a
10
1.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does 10 points of damage,
Oof.
but that 10 gets reduced by 4 because of your armor.
Mm-hmm.
So you take 6 points out of your might pool. And now, Kevin, because
Yes.
of that, you have an opening here for your onslaught.
Mm-hmm.
As Seraph is like knocked away from Korend, he's lined up with the machine. You just have to shift a few feet over, and you could unleash your onslaught in a way that you don't know if you've ever done before, that basically turns it into this just column of power, potentially hammering, injuring Korend and the machine.
Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
Okay,
it.
so you need to do an intelligence check on your onslaught ability. The target
Okay.
number on it is 18 because of the way that you're modifying it, but this is the power stunt, so your crystal applies.
Cool. So that's going to reduce it by 4 steps.
Okay, so that reduces it down to a 6, and then
It looks like my onslaught has a modifier of 1. Is that a reduction 2, or is that something else?
Yes, that's a modifier of 1, so that reduces. So to just modify, you need to roll a 3 or better on your d20 now.
Nice. Cool. So as I finish my gesturing and the arcane power from the cosmic force comes through and it lances out of the top of my power crystal wizard staff, I'm going to say, and I don't know why I'm saying this, these words just seem right coming out of Spencer's mouth. I will say, "We did not let you have this planet before. You will not have it now."
All right.
12.
Okay.
Oh.
So yes, you manifest your onslaught. Let's see if you hit him. So if you hit, the DC is the same for both. So if you succeed, you will hit both. Your target number is a 15, reduced down to a 12 because of your onslaught's 1 mod.
Sweet.
And then if you want to, you can spend effort or any other cool special stuff if you've got them.
I'm going to go ahead and use my perfection ability. That lets me do
Oh.
it like it's a nat 20.
Oh, Nice.
I'm gonna blast him. I'm gonna just blast. I'm gonna let loose.
You let
It might have some
you unload.
negative feedback. Yeah, I let it all rip.
Yep. So as you do this, let's see. The nat 20 does +4 damage or a major effect. It's up to you.
So right now it's doing damage of 7 because of my onslaught. So it'd be either 11 damage directly to his intelligence pool, or 7 damage and then an effect.
So it doesn't do 7 when it's an intellect. It does reduced damage when it's an intellect thing, doesn't it?
I see. It just does the 2 regardless of that. Mind Slice inflicts 2 points of intelligence damage, which ignores armor.
Right, and you have a boost in your onslaught, which reduces its normal 4 damage up to a 7. So for the mental, it would be 5. So you would be 9 points of intellect damage to it, and also damaging the machine, which has living things inside of it. Normally it wouldn't apply. So you could do that if you wanted to just do straight damage.
Yeah, I'll just do straight damage. I'm just going to unleash. It's everything that I have. It's full Gandalf the White mode. Just going to slam into this guy and into the machine. I just bring the staff down between the two of them.
Nice. Yeah, so you...
Atacavadra!
Nice. You unleash this column of dark magic energy towards Korend. It ripples through him. Seraph has to throw up his wings in front of him to block the blinding white and purple light out of his eyes as it rips through Korend, severely injuring Korend and slamming into the machine. As it slams into the machine, there is a violent explosion that occurs in the machine. The vortex itself starts going chaotic up above, and just erupts in a burst of energy that wafts across the skies, almost like, the ring of energy off the Death Star exploding, as it ripples through the skies, tearing away all clouds and rendering the darkened night skies completely clear. The explosion on the ground is a lot more malevolent. Because Shiv, because Streak and Seraph are within short distance of the machine, you both need to roll might defense actions, please.
Ooh, okay.
May I do a player intrusion right now by spending a point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Player intrusions don't cost actions, guys. You just spend your XP and let them rip.
Nice. So it sounds like what's going on, if I'm understanding your description properly, is that basically I just destroyed the machine and now they're falling out of the sky. So what I want to try to do is make a player intrusion because I'm an adept, which means that machines don't properly work around me. I want to make it inexplicably unbroken, which means an inactive, ruined, or presumed destroyed device temporarily activates, performs a useful function relative to our situation. So what I would like to do is somehow the blast that I made, as I have the battle staff, I raise it up towards them as they start to fall and drift away. And the machine, the mechanical parts of it, almost like some sort of strange, like stretching or nanobots or something, they rise up and try to catch them and slow their descent so they don't slam into the ground and get
so yeah, I get what you're going for here. In this case, it's literally just like the shockwave of the machine itself exploding that's knocking them away. But I think it can still work for you in this case. So basically, as you spend your XP and activate this, you have an innate understanding of machines that don't work around you and machines that do work. Everything works weirdly in your presence when it comes to machinery. And so as this explosion is happening, Seraph and Streak, both of you are going to get 1 shift added to basically it's a free help, free level of effort of help in this case to keep from taking damage as parts of the machine itself like land in front of you and dig into the ground, preventing some of the explosion from slamming into you. For what it's worth, this is also affecting Korend.
Okay. That's fine. I think it's reactionary. I think it's just
Yeah.
instinct to protect them. So if that happens, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So both of you do your might defenses. Your DC is normally 15, but it's reduced before anything you guys have going on. It's reduced to a 12 thanks to Spencer.
Okay.
So
I have a resilience, so they'll lower it down one more.
and you're trained in might defense.
And I'm training my defense. Yep.
So for Seraph, it's a 6.
I've got speed defense. Will that help in any way?
No, this is might
Okay.
defense, unfortunately.
No. Okay. I haven't got any. Unless I can spend might to help me there. Can I?
Yeah,
do that?
you could spend 3 points of might if you want.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll spend 3 points of might.
Okay, so that reduces your target number down to a 9.
Right. Let's go.
Oh!
Dang.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just.
So, Christian,
Just.
are you going to spend an XP and try to reroll that too?
Lord.
Yeah, I am.
Can we spend XP to have other people re-roll? Can we do that?
No, unfortunately not.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Whoa.
That was rough.
Those dice are hurting.
Your dice is not liking you tonight,
Yeah,
man.
no,
Brutal.
just not at all.
This random number generator is not your fan.
It's physics. Man. It's all physics.
Yeah.
Yeah, no good.
Did you reroll? Oh, there it comes.
There it goes.
Hey,
19, baby.
19.
Hell yeah.
So you both succeed.
Clutch.
Paxton suffered, or Streak suffered a little bit from having to exert himself to avoid the brunt of the explosion, which is probably good. Seraph, you actually use not only the machine, but also parts of Korend as a shield from the explosion. And you have a minor effect boost here from your natural 19 that you can add to this if you can think of something cool that you want to do with it.
Yeah, so just I just need you to re-give me the geography of what's going on here.
Yeah,
like.
so you basically got knocked a little bit away from Korend. That gave Dark Magician the opening to unleash this pillar of onslaught dark magic energy through Korend and into the machine. That caused the machine to take its final point of damage on its damage track and explode. And that explosion has rippled through the space and has sent shockwaves in which you used, got some cover and used Korend to cover you the rest from taking any damage from the explosion. And so you have an opportunity here with that natural 19 to add some extra salt or flavor or spice on top of this.
And what's his situation, Corinne? Like, what's he looking like?
Oh, he's getting fucked up. You guys are fucking unloading on him and just massive
Nice.
amounts of damage all over the place.
And in the terms of the initiative, who's going next? I guess
Korend
I have
is
a plan.
next.
I'm just trying to get a sense.
Korend is next.
Korend is next. All right. Can I, with this extra little sauce, no, it's I don't know. I can't.
Hit me with the idea, man.
Uh-huh.
Let's do it.
All ideas are valid.
Yeah, do it.
It's a one shot, man. Play it like you stole it, bro.
No, my idea was, so the idea I wanted to do was to say that I kind of crouch under him to kind of hide away from part of the explosion, and then I was thinking, if one of us is going next or whatever, if he's had his action, I wanted to sort of jump up, sort of burst up with a burst of speed, kind of drag him up, and then just sort of drop him and move away, and just kind of have him hanging up there, ready for, a shot from someone or something. But if he's going next, it's not gonna.
Well, I would be
will.
happy to say that what you do in this particular case could be a hindrance to him, where potentially, like, as you're using the explosion, him to cover some of the explosion against you, you like put your shoulder and wing into like his kneecap and cause him to stumble a bit and be a hindrance to whatever action he's about to take.
I like that. I think I might instead, because I'm pretty injured, I might instead just sort of after the explosion, sort of kind of use his body, like kind of step up on his knee, and then and then launch myself to kind of move away from him.
Oh yeah, totally.
Something like that. Like since he's gonna act next, and I'm kind of hurting a bit.
If you wanted to actually, I would give you the opportunity if you wanted to spend the intellect points to use him as a leverage and like rocket yourself up into the air and hovering above him, potentially out of harm's way.
Okay. Yep, let's do that.
Cool.
Sounds like a point to me.
Yeah, so just spend your 2 intellect points, gives you basically like a free little movement action, and you're now hovering in the space above him. So on Koren's turn, he looks up at the sky at this vanishing vortex, and he just screams out, just undone behind him. He turns, he looks over at the streak, he turns back, he looks over at Dark Magician, and he's looking around, and he doesn't immediately see Seraph in his gaze, but it doesn't matter because he can only affect 2 creatures with this ability anyway. He extends one arm out to each of Dark Magician and to Streak. I don't know why I'm having a horrible time with names at the moment, but extends an arm pointed out at each of you, and he unleashes this almost psychic just lance between the 2 of you, and instantaneously the 2 of you start to feel each other's pain and each other's agony, and you need to attempt to resist the psychic damage of this assault. So I need intellect defense rolls from the both of you.
My intellect is not great. You've not got the smarts. I'm gonna have to spend some intellect here, I think. What's the roll so far? What are we looking at?
Your target number is 15.
15. I'm gonna spend 3.
All right, so that reduces you down to a 12. Kev, you are trained in intellect defense, so your defense is starting at a 12 if you want to do anything else to help you out. Oh no, your intellect is based on your power shift intelligence. You're down to a 9.
Right, because my power shift intelligence is 2. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a 9. Can I somehow use my resonance field, my physical barrier, to somehow protect my mind?
I'm pretty sure that does not work in this case.
Whenever a creature within immediate range makes an attack against you, the pattern energizes the
so
blocking attack.
he's actually at short range away from you.
I see. Okay.
And this isn't a weapon, is it? Is this just an ability?
It's an attack.
I'll
It's
just
essentially
roll-
a kind
I'll
of
just roll
weapon
with the
attack,
9.
but
It's
it's
fine.
one that targets intellect instead of might.
Okay.
No,
Huh.
I'm making an intellect. I'll burn some of my pool.
Okay,
I'll knock it down one more step. So I'll spending 3 or 2 because I have an edge in.
correct. Spending 2
So
because
2.
you have the edge, and so
So
that
that's my
reduces
pool
your
of
target
13.
number down to a 6. Shiv, you're still
Okay.
rolling at a 12.
All right, so I'll roll that 6.
Here we go.
16 for me.
Oh, so close. You gonna spend a
10.
point of XP, Shiv?
I will. I will spend a point of XP to re-roll that.
Spend it.
Go.
Come on.
There we
14.
go.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
So, through effort, the 2 of you are able to grip onto your heads and clench through it, hearing basically each other's agony in your own minds. You shake your heads and shake it off, and prevent him from doing any more harm to you. And so then we're back to you guys, but in the interest of time, I would like for you guys to tell me how the three of you work together in a joint like combo move sort of deal here to finish him off. He only has like 5 hit points left, so you're pretty much guaranteed to take him out. We're half an hour over time. Let's go ahead and just roll with it here, and you tell me what's you guys' power team combo move that ends Korend.
What I'd like to see is something that utilizes each of our special abilities that we have, like something that's going to utilize my magic and Bleak's flying and Shiv's speed. So somehow we combine those abilities in a way that's going to make
I have an idea.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Go on.
It's going to be the rock you like a hurricane. So Shiv is going to start spinning around him really quickly to sort of like create this sort of vortex around him.
Vortex.
And then I'm going to come in with my wings and sort of lift him up, and then you're going to come in with your magic, and you're going to grab him or slam him down.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give him the slam him down, and then the energy is going to give him the people's elbow.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, just suplex him with my magic. That
Nice.
hand that we saw earlier grab the bookshelf. He's going to grab on and forcefully just shove him down. No copyright infringement here. Rigby's forceful hand.
Different
Right.
color energy.
That's it.
Right.
A forceful hand.
So, as you all slam Korend's body into the ground, his crystalline form just lays there unmoving. You do see an occasional pulse of light in between the seams of his crystalline body, so you know he's not dead. And in this moment, as he lays there unconscious, you look up and you see that you've done it. The vortex, the terrifying swirl of Ozaki energy is gone. You look up to where it once threatened seemingly the very fabric of existence, and all that's left is the clear night sky and the twinkling of stars above. The campus around you is still for the moment. The echoes of the battle with Korend are faded to quiet, and your powers, new and cosmic, still tingle within you. It's strange, but somehow you knew exactly what you needed to do, how to stand up against this otherworldly threat, as if you had done it before somewhere else in some other portion of the multiverse in some way. You were meant to stop this. You know that you were. But you also know that it's not over. That the danger has been held at bay, but the Zanari are still out there. You've become heroes, guardians, protectors of this space in this instant, but there is more protection that needs to be done. And then a silence, or a new sound breaks this silence. 3 hover jets roar overhead above you, the trio of them swirling in the sky briefly before moving to land nearby. They are sleek, they are powerful, and if it wasn't for the fact that you heard them, you may not have even seen them because they are jet black in their colorations. However, once they land on the side, you can see quite clearly the Bastion logo upon them. A figure steps out from the head jet wearing an armored trench coat, and as he does, he begins to walk towards all of you. His face is unreadable, but his intent is clear. He wants to talk. And you realize that this is just the beginning. The battle has been won, but the war against evil never ends. Against those who threaten the universe, that war is far from over. Bastion is here, and it seems they want you on their side. And that's where we're going to end it, ladies and gentlemen. This glorious foray into the world of Bastion and the Cypher system. I had fun. I hope all of you did as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
great stuff.
We are going to quickly go around the table here and outroduce ourselves. And please tell us who you are and the awesomeness and all of that you've got coming up. Once again, we will start with you, Shiv. Please, sir.
Okay, I'm Shiv. I've been playing Paxton the Street, and you can find me everywhere at IOShiv on all the social medias, and you can see me again this Saturday on the Guild Superior channel, where I'll be DMing the second of the two-shot we were doing this Saturday. So come and check it out.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Kev,
Yo.
please continue.
Yes, I'm Kevin. You can find me online at the socials at KevRan Games. I am part of the production team here at Wanderers Haven, and I also, on Fridays, I am the U.S. ambassador for La Not Eterna, which is another stream that we do, which is a grimdark fantasy setting that is currently featuring Miko as one of the players. Bleak's been on the show as well in a previous arc, and there might be some talk with Shiv too. You heard her here first. We'll see what happens with that. Shiv's like, I've heard her here first too. But today I played Spencer Randall, the Dark Magician, named after the Yu-Gi-Oh card, for those of you who are keeping track today. Thank you very much for letting me play Miko.
Love it.
First time playing Cypher. I've been wanting to play the system for a long time, so it was fun to test it out and get playing. And I love superheroes, so this was great for me. So thank you.
Nice. Christian, please, sir.
Hey, I'm Bleakseason. You can find me at Bleakseason on all socials, on Blue Sky, Twitter, etc., either the Bleakseason or Leakseason. You can also find me at Guild Superior, where I run a regular game on Thursday nights. Currently doing Lord of the Rings, finishing up an arc that is part of a 3-story little chronicle that we've got going on. And I also stream on my own channel, which is Twitch, the Bleakseason. I've got a vampire game going on right now with some pretty awesome people. We're off next Friday, but we'll pick it up again the week after. And that's what I'm doing. Thanks for having me, Miko. It's been a great time. I loved playing with you two clowns. It was a lot of fun. So,
It was
definitely a buddy comedy we didn't know we needed. That was us. Yep.
There's definitely a buddy comedy action stuff going on here. Kay, we miss you. We love you. Please come back to us soon. I am Miko, otherwise known as the OKSGM. I'm producer over here at Wanderers Haven. Also producer on La Nata Eterna Official. Please come check out all of that interesting stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at _OKS_GM. Well, most socials at that. Any of them that allow underscores, any that don't, just take out the underscores. We are going to raid over here to Dork Tales.
Oh, yeah.
Dork Tales. It looks like they're doing some Brindlewood Bay.
Oh, that game rocks.
Part of their Extra Life charity stream going on. And yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.